living a different moment in Counter-Strike. Like the game has been played a little bit different than it was before. So there's some adjusting that needs to be made. And also the team has to grow again. Like the team has to grow with every match, with every competition. And being completely honest, of course, we're not the best team in the world right now. There's other teams competing better than us, and they have been together for more time than us. So we need to go through this process. We need to play against them a couple of times. We need to lose and win some. So in order to do that, we have to be playing the competitions and keep our heads high, because we know how to do it, and we're gonna do it again. The fact that we didn't play together for a long time kind of showed up on this first match. The fact that they play a very well match as well, like the way they were playing, and it took us a little bit off guard, because Counter-Strike, mainly on the practice nowadays, people are really looking for fights and really challenging a lot during those games, and we have been practicing for like 20 days together. So Cloud9 kind of played a game where they're not facing us that much. They're kind of being smart with their utility and being smart with the decisions they're taking. So in fact, we kind of lost a lot of time waiting for aggressions that never came and stuff like that inside the match. So combined with some situations that we could have won, and a couple moments of a lot of nervousness, I would say, made us make some mistakes in the game. They have a superior match than us, so we kind of approached it that we had to do a better job on the next one. And I think it's naturally the pressure starts going off match by match, and we start doing a better job. To develop as a team during a competition is not so hard. What you have to do is pay attention to why did you lose or how did you win, and what can be done better for the next matches, and make sure you take something positive from every single encounter you have with another teams. And that's what we have always been doing, and we did it here again.
It's been a long path for both of these teams. Actually, only one hiccup on the side of Astralis, having dropped a map to the Renegades of all suspects here of the major. A Renegades that did come out here surprising everyone, but for everything considered, let's talk a little bit about Astralis and how much they've saved face here. They haven't had to show a whole lot.
No, and that's the thing with Astralis, right? They come in really prepared to this tournament. They haven't really been tested so far in the tournament as well. Astralis seems to be better than ever, I gotta say it. The players are showing up, you said it as well. Device currently the highest rated player in the tournament. So everything just seems to click for Astralis right now. So I'm having a tough time seeing where is it MIBR is gonna punish them.
See, that's the one thing that is interesting about MIBR is they're typically good at the maps that Astralis tries to stay away from. So that's where they have an edge in this series, in my opinion. But yeah, like you said, this Astralis we've seen is right up there with the best Astralis we've seen.
I mean, we're talking about an Astralis that has actually 16-0'd a team here on land, and almost did it yesterday as well. Almost. You could just see the happiness coming out from the NIP side, just grabbing one round there. I mean, we're talking about a dominant team here.
Yeah, I mean, Xyp9x is in top form, winning clutches left and right, using the AUG to perfection. So is Magic's boy. Drop the boy, he doesn't like that. So is Magic. Just AUGing around connector on Mirage. Honestly, they're doing everything right. You watch them strategically on CT side, the way they move around the map is so well thought out. Their utility usage still as on point as ever.
And OJ did ask about bringing the band back together, and well, this is another story of that. MIBR, Coldzera, Fur, Phelps, Fallen, and Taco. Now, they've had to come back together, also bringing in Zeus, and now we see them in front of us in the semifinals. Let's talk about the MIBR side.
That's an interesting storyline, though, because Zeus have a lot of first-hand experience going up against Astralis in very important matchups. Let's not forget that he came from Liquid, which is a team that have played, I think, 6 or 7 finals against Astralis. So he is prepared for this team a lot of times. Now, he wasn't able to get it done with Liquid, down to the fact that maybe Liquid weren't really a team that was set up to beat Astralis in many areas. But with MIBR, he has different tools to work with. He has a Fallen, he has a Phelps, he has an ultra-aggressive Fur, he has Coldzera, one of the best players in the world. Maybe this will be the time where Zeus actually have the key to win against Astralis.
I definitely think Zeus is a big part of this MIBR team and how they function. But just looking at that Fallen interview, I mean, it's so obvious to me how amazing of an in-game leader he is, and just a leader of the team, you know?
Right.
He can spot deficits in his team and fix them. He's not afraid to say what's wrong. He's not afraid to say they're not the best team in the world, and he doesn't give his players false confidence, which is something that I think is really important.
And the thing about Fallen, I mean, you talk about him being this in-game leader. We talk about Zeus having this loud, boisterous manner about him as a sort of leader outside of the game. Brazil has proven time and time again that they are a fiery bunch down there when things start to turn one way or the other.
They sure are, and they play on those emotions, right? But so does Astralis. I mean, the most terrifying player I have ever played with was Glaive. I mean, I wouldn't dare say anything against him because he would just rip your head off if you tried to. So let's not forget that Fallen is going up against probably the best in-game leader in the entire world, which is Glaive. So there's definitely a lot of mind games going on in this game.
I mean, we're talking about two problem solvers driving here on opposite ends of the roadway, because these guys, for everything that they're able to do within these crunch moments, this is how they adapt. This is how they come together, and that's why they're so successful on both sides.
Exactly. It's just Glaive is doing it a little bit later than what Fallen did. Fallen innovated the game so much in 2016, 2017. I mean, now the Glaive 2018 had the best year probably of any player ever.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk about teams and players and storylines, this, that, and the other, or we could let them do the talking themselves. We're going to take a deeper look into who is Fallen, what's going on in the MIBR camp, and you know who's going to be there with him? It's going to be Phelps.
Bringing Zeus, Taco, and Phelps back, the approach to the game didn't change much, on how we played this before. They kind of grew up in the same Counter-Strike school that we did. Like we understood the game the same way since the beginning, so it's easier to understand some of the ideas we have going through the rounds and taking the decisions. And with the Americans, it was a different history because they would think on some occasions differently than we would, and it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but it's just different. And in the game, normally you want everyone on the same page, you want everyone doing something with the same purpose at the same timing, which is something very important in Counter-Strike. Having Phelps into the team, it's great again, and I think Phelps changed a lot since the last time we were together, and he had some time to be even leading his last team, so he was trying to learn some captain skills and trying to lead the team to victories, and I think that helped him develop some different ideas about the game as well. And Phelps initially was a very aggressive player. He kind of mirror himself on the way Fair played the game before, like taking those duels, being the decisive player for the team. And when he had to play for us, he had to completely change his gameplay, because you just can't have two players doing the same role into the team, and he had to assemble himself into different ideas. And nowadays, what I see from Phelps is he's kind of doing what Mages did for Astralis, like filling the role on whatever the team needs. And I feel that he's much more comfortable doing those things now. Like I can see from this early experience on those practices before the major that some of the positions he would hate before, now he really has a good feeling playing on it. He really understands what he has to do, and he's really learning something new every game and studying opponents and getting to know how to perform better. So I'm very excited about what Phelps can do to this team, because he's a key piece for the team, and if Phelps plays well, it means we're gonna have a better chance to win every time.
And don't let that confuse you, because just as the numbers shown there for Phelps weren't necessarily the strongest of strong, but they certainly have impact. This is a team that is very, very core-centric. This is a team that definitely know how to play off each other.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about this MIBR team is I think Phelps is one of the most skilled players left in this tournament. Whenever I played against Phelps, he had so much impact. He can lurk behind you. His aim is very snappy, but he hasn't really shown that to us yet so far in this event, which leads me to believe that MIBR has a lot they can show.
I definitely agree. I think there's a fair case to be made that when you look at the players pound for pound between Astralis and MIBR, you could maybe even argue that MIBR has more skill when it comes down to talent on the team. Obviously, there's no doubt that Astralis is the better team. They have more team play, better at utilizing the utility and utilizing each other. But when it comes down to raw skill on the server, MIBR can definitely match Astralis.
Which is a scary concept, because we could have a pound for pound all-out brawl here across 3 maps, which is what we need to deliver to you right now. We do have the vetoes. We're going to start flying those in. I'm going to let you guys do a little theory striking over here.
So this is why I said MIBR has such a good chance against Astralis compared to other teams, is because they like playing maps like Train, Mirage, and Overpass, and they play Cash, which is Astralis' permaban. So they have a great veto and a great opportunity to get an edge on 2 maps in this series.
And that's the interesting prospect coming into this veto. Now, we see them pick Overpass, and that's actually very surprising to me, because when you look at the options MIBR could have gone with, Dust 2 yesterday didn't look too good for Astralis. MIBR have shown that they're good on Dust 2. Now, they could also pick Mirage, which is a map that Astralis have shown weaknesses on. Now, they're going with Overpass, which means that they are either insanely confident themselves in Overpass,
or insane,
or they've seen some complex in Astralis.
That's the thing, is I think Astralis is still living on their old reputation on Overpass. They're not the team on Overpass that we saw, in early 2018, 2017. This team probably thinks Overpass is their worst map out of the 6 remaining from Cash.
Which is a weird thing when it comes down to the veto process, Jacob.
It is a map that lost to Team Liquid against Team Liquid in the iBuy Power tournament. I also believe they lost to Na'Vi 3 months ago when they were playing the Pro League finals or something along those lines. So as you said, it is a map that used to be the absolute best for Astralis, but it's a map that nobody wanted to play against them. And now, for a certain time, nobody have been daring to play Overpass against them. And all of a sudden, MIBR comes in with this pocket pick and picks it into them. This could be very scary for Astralis.
It could be scary, and again, they're going to be escaping the nuke that nobody wants to hang around with Astralis on. In fact, in the first map of Overpass, it's going to be Astralis starting on the CT side. Guys, this bode a very strong start. We're going to get an early taste as to what MIBR is working with and getting the engines cranked up properly.
That's the thing. I think MIBR needs to somehow pull out 5 to 6 rounds on their C side, because Device is so good at the A bomb site. He is very good at going for those aggressive party picks, switching up, going long A, even upping in the connector sometimes. Now, I don't think Astralis' T side is as strong, and everyone remembers those nades at the B bomb site and eggs X towards the B bomb site. Honestly, it doesn't work as much as you think it does. Yes, those nades are strong. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad we brought up Fer, because when we switch over to the CT side for MIBR, him and Fallen are going to be the 2 key players for them, especially Fer. I think we all remember back in the days when he was dominating the toilet area all by himself, always pushing towards A-Long, always pushing toilets, making room for his teammates. Fer needs to have a great game on the CT side if they want to put a stop to Astralis' strong T side.
And that is a very interesting aspect we haven't even begun to touch on yet, is that Fer aggression that he's so known for. And when he can push and find those kills, it normally equates to a round win there from the MIBR side. But if he's punished early on, if he starts to back off of that, that is where they're going to find themselves kind of pushed against a wall.
It did seem a bit dated, having someone like Fer or Rain go super aggressive at the A bomb site on Overpass, and that's why you hadn't seen these 2 teams, play a lot of Overpass. So I hope they come with a little bit of a refined strategy, something different, because I think Astralis will definitely be ready for Fer's aggression.
I definitely agree, and that's where another interesting fact comes into this matchup. These 2 teams are good at the same stuff, right? Astralis, the best team in the tournament, at playing ahead 5 versus 4. The best team in the tournament at playing 4 versus 5, but so is MIBR. Very good at playing 5 versus 4 situations, very good at playing 4 versus 5. So these 2 teams does the same thing well. The problem for MIBR is Astralis does it a little bit better.
Right. Well, I mean, there's nothing else to be said at this point. Let's go ahead and jump into what is the second semifinal of the day, MIBR versus Astralis. Let's do it now.
It's coming. Here we go. It's all on Sipnix and Device. Sipnix with the orb, tailor-made. It's going to be getting 3 with a spray. Single-handedly stops the push.
Well, I think Astralis is like the best team in the world right now, but we are here to prove like we can beat them. So we are prepared for them, and it's going to be like a good revenge. And every time they face us, they don't play their game. I don't know why. I think they fear a little bit. So we're going to play our game and focus in our game.
So the dangerous part is because there are like 5 really crazy Brazilians. They can all go really ham, and they can all be really good players. But the exciting part is that they are this new team, and they have been playing before together, and it worked out really well for them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the match.
But in general, like, they have a good team play as well, so they're like a tier 1 team, like the best team in the world, so they are good like in everything. But I think like against us, they like choke a little bit and they don't play their game. They're like a game, so we're gonna like take advantage from that and we're gonna smash them.
The strength is that we are always actually having really good games against them. I feel like we always play a good game ourselves when we play against them. So hopefully that will happen tomorrow. And if that happens, I believe we'll go out as victorious.
Well, play here in Poland in Spodek Arena is always amazing. It's like my 4th or 5th time playing here, and it's always amazing. Like, the crowd is really insane, and the Brazilian crowd is here as well. They are making some noise.
That crowd was just crazy. It felt amazing to just be there and feeling the atmosphere. I hope they will cheer for us tomorrow, but we'll see about that.
Time for semi-final number 2 here in Katowice, the Intel Extreme Masters Major. And man, that last semi-final, I still got the feels for ENCE. Who'd have thought it? Were you ready for that? Were you ready? Oh, you were, I see. Well, we've got another semi-final up here on this stage, and it's between 2 teams who've gone toe-to-toe over the years, and they're going to be playing off once again for this amazing trophy, the Intel Extreme Masters Counter-Strike Trophy. One of these teams we're about to see on the stage may be lifting this time tomorrow. And when we talk about this teams, we talk about legitimately one of the best teams ever to play this game in Astralis, but they are taking on a team which could have been, and you still can argue, is the best Counter-Strike roster of all time. So let's blow this concrete UFO apart as we welcome the teams for our second semi-final here in Poland. And let's make sure we're quiet. Everyone quiet. Please welcome to the stage, Emma! Yesterday. Please welcome to the stage, it's Astralis! It's standing remotely in the Spodek. 1 million people watching online. Who's winning this? Is it MIBR? Is it Astralis? One more time. Is it MIBR? Or is it Astralis? It's semi-final time, baby. Let's get it on!
And OJ Borg said it best, and we're going to have to reiterate that point even harder. 1 million people watching online during that last one. And for all members here in the arena, in the Spodek itself, this is do or die time for both of these teams. And we're going to be witnessing history being made right here, right now.
And I think all of those 1 million people are in for a treat here. The last 8 maps MIBR has played against the Astralis, and yes, the rosters have changed a little bit from MIBR. 5 16-14s, 2 double overtime games, and 1 16-10. Every single game is pretty much close.
Yeah, and dare I say that MIBR is a better team now than they were in those games, right?
Yes.
I think you're right. I think this is going to be close. It's also going to be a big test for MIBR. We talk about them. Are they back? Can they potentially fight against a team like Astralis? Can they potentially be the best team in the world again? I guess this game will be a sign for the times. It will be a great question. It will be one of those games that's going to sort of like dictate the rest of the season for MIBR.
Right, sort of even flashback to Marseille when we saw Astralis lift the trophy there, and then the rest of the year kind of plays out just how they would have wanted to. They've already hoisted the Grand Slam, and now they're on their way to trying to pick up a trophy here at the Major. They've got one stop, though. It's going to be MIBR in their way. Astralis, no doubt about it, a favorite going into any matchup that they go into, but pound for pound, could this be a different story overall?
It definitely could be. I mean, MIBR is constructed totally opposite to Astralis, right? They have someone super aggressive, like Jacob said, in Fur, as a rifler. You know, Astralis doesn't really have that, in my opinion. MIBR doesn't really have someone like Zipix. You know, I guess you might consider Cold Zero that player, but he's more of like a hybrid opper. So the teams are far different. Device way more passive than Fallen at opping. This is just such an interesting bout.
Glaive being the in-game leader for Astralis as a rifler, Fallen being the in-game leader for MIBR as an AWP player. 2 different very styles of Counter-Strike is going to be displayed, Trace.
We're going to be able to see that all on display here within a matter of moments, but right now I need to tell you to get involved for the Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel Power Play. And if you want us to break something down, go ahead and use hashtag GameFuelPowerPlay. We're going to dive right into that, of course, after the matchup, after the carnage is all set in place, and after everything gets going here, because it does look like we're about ready to kick it off. I want to ask you guys where you stand in the series now. I need to get some win conditions or some sort of indication on which side you're falling on here.
I mean, it's literally impossible to pick against a team like Astralis, against any team they play. But this is, in my opinion, the best chance. The map pool of MIBR is perfect to knock out someone like Astralis.
I definitely agree. I need to see Fallen come back to life. I need to see Fallen from 2016,
Yes.
Fallen from 2017, going toe-to-toe with what is maybe the best player in the world, or at least the second best player in the world in Device. You need Fallen to step up. You need him to lead by example. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for MIBR. That said, though, Fallen likes to perform on big stages, so why not?
And you guys have both been to the big stages here. And really quickly, I want to get some words from you as to the emotion that you have to be considering here. These guys are veterans. They've been in this situation too. But that doesn't change the fact that the heart's flurrying.
I mean, let's be real, Trace. I have not played or won in nearly as many tournaments as these two teams.
Trying to give you that advantage there, Sean.
I would probably be shaking up there right now still, but I'm sure these teams have put in a tremendous amount of time for this exact moment, and you saw what it meant to a team like Na'Vi actually going out. They will be heartbroken when whoever loses this semifinal.
This is what they live for. This is why they practice. This is why they spend so many hours at home bettering themselves at the game. They want to be at that stage and they want to perform in front of the crowd, Trace, so they are definitely ready for it.
Well, Inferno and Train will have to come after Overpass. That's provided we make it to all 3 maps, because that's where we're going to be starting. Astralis on that CT side, and well, there's nothing more to be said from our end. I think everybody in the entire world is ready for this semi-final. MIBR versus Astralis, and well, the windup couldn't be any better as I throw it right on down to the commentators and Jason O'Toole and Vince Hill. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Astralis and MIBR, the hope of Brazil, the juggernauts of Denmark, going head-to-head here on Overpass to open this up. A spot in the grand finals on the line. It couldn't be better. Championship pedigree on both teams. And what a tall task we have for the Brazilians. Pistol round now. Utility on Taco and Fallen. They're going to go towards Underpass. It's a stack towards the B-bomb site for Astralis. You imagine they'd want to get aggressive and find some information. It's a lot of manpower on that side of the map for the moment.
Dupree was having a feel up mid, now going to be backing away. But no presence in connector. So the Brazilians making a lot of ground already. Not a huge amount of utility for Astralis either, just the one smoke. And now MIBR starting to make a move up. Dupree's going to take first form of contact, more than likely. Did he just catch a glimpse of Fur? He definitely has now. Going to look to try and back away. MIBR can't get to him. Bit of a stalemate so far.
That's fine. That's exactly what MIBR wanted. Force the defense back. Make sure Dupree cannot gather too much information, but he's re-aggressing. He wants to make sure, and Zipnik's in a position just to try and hear some noise. The footsteps out of the door, and he's got it. Glaive is going to be under pressure. Drops the smoke. That utility usage is so good. Opening kill for Glaive, and he's using the smoke perfectly. MIBR not through yet. They're getting held back, and they're getting demolished.
Glaive with another one, but Phelps is going to answer back. The damage inflicted so heavily, but in so much time still remaining for MIBR. They could fake this. They could try and draw a couple of the CTs away and then look to try and get back onto B once again. Grenade goes in, doesn't really do a great deal of damage to coldzera. It's not going to deter him away from moving in, but Amajiska's seen him. Any rotation's going to start to come straight back to their side, but coldzera, he's picked up 20 seconds to play with, at least has control over the bomb, and a flashbang to his name, but he's going to get double peek from heaven. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. I'm surprised he's still relatively healthy at this stage of the round, and still somehow firing shots down range, but finally Astralis will punch his number and claim the first round.
And you can see Astralis there 3-on-1, just delaying and just chipping him down one bullet at a time, never committing to a fight, never giving him a chance to try and even things out. Pistol round goes their way, and that is just a taste of things to come. It's so difficult to ride the line of being aggressive enough to force utility out early. Glaive holds onto that smoke just until the perfect moment, until they know where MIBR is going to commit, and it's so difficult to make your way through that. 1-0. MIBR going to invest in this next round.
Unfortunately, seems that we've hit a tech pause. So I'd love to break down the pistol. Not too much happened.
No, Device just drops out of the server. He'll be right back. They're going to fix some things up. But yeah, I mean, that's the great play from MIBR is forcing Dupree back initially in bathrooms, but when he re-aggresses and finds that information, that's one thing that you have to be aware of. These Astralis guys don't just sit back and wait. They want to know what's coming. They want to know exactly where to position their players and use their utility, and they're the best at finding that out. You have Dupree getting aggressive back in bathrooms, and he knows that it's clear. You have Zipniks in a corner to listen for footsteps at the door, and MIBR was read the whole way.
So on the lead up to this match, I believe that Device has just rejoined the server. MIBR obviously beat Renegades and NIP to come through to the semi-finals. Meanwhile, Astralis, NIP, and Renegades additionally. So it's going to be an interesting one here.
I think the fun thing, as Sean mentioned, is that MIBR playing it has a great map pool for Astralis. Overpass is the only map in the entire 7-map pool that Astralis has a losing record on if you go back to 3 months, if you go back to 6 months on LAN. This is the only map where they've shown any kind of real weakness. 2 and 4 in the last 6 months, 1 and 2 in the last 3. A perfect opportunity for MIBR to take a lead going forward into the rest of the series. Pause is over. Freeze time is coming down as we speak, and you are going to see a pretty powerful investment. MIBR bought down everything they possibly could afford to fight for this second round, to try and return.
Will put them in a vulnerable spot, though, the Brazilians, if they were to concede this round. So they can be playing it very closely, passively for the time being. Taco has gone aggressive, though, by himself up on short side.
Going back to what the desk talked about as well, the differences in how these teams are constructed, saying there's no one to really match Fur's aggressiveness with the rifle. The only player who comes close, you'd have to imagine, is Magisk, which seems to be the X factor that this Astralis team was lacking for so long. Before they could become this Titan, before they could just become this machine that wins every event, they needed someone like that, and they've got it in Magisk. He's got the first kill of the round. Taco falls. coldzera quickly after over towards the door. Magisk was stellar yesterday, continuing his form here, and MIBR getting nothing done with this investment. A lot of cash is put into this purchase from the Brazilians, and they haven't even been able to find an advantaged fight.
Yeah, at the very least, I'd like to take a few weapons away from Astralis, even if they do bow out of this round. But as you say, so far it's been smooth sailing. Maybe Fur, who has been quite the beast for the Brazilians in this tournament, putting up a lot of huge stats. But Dupree is going to have the better of him from the backside. Does get one dig down, but Fur was tagged up heavily and finished off by Glaive. 25 seconds for Fallen to try and carve out something truly special with his scouts. He has seen a couple players, but they know he's got a scout. There's no real need to peek him at this stage.
Yeah, Astralis plays this so well. A tag cannot finish it off. 2-0 for Astralis. Only Dupree falls. Astralis is going to be very happy with that. None of the rifles as well. Just an SMG they lose. And MIBR is going to have to spend around with just the Glocks before they can get into things.
Excellent hold by Magisk against the Force Spy. As a result, we're going to have an eco. They could afford a few pistols, maybe a deagle in the hands of Fur. We saw him land a frag in the round prior, and he's going to pick it up. So a bit of firepower, but nothing to write home about. And Astralis taking connector control instantly, pushing 2 players in there. They have device to watch from bathrooms additionally.
Here's that aggression from Magisk, and he's going to find Taco again. That's going to be a battle that you imagine we'll see throughout this game, throughout this half, I should say, as Taco is going to be in that position to kind of hold on to the option of the B bomb site for MIBR. Oh, Dupree's in a sticky situation, goes for the peek, gets the kill on a Phelps. No one going down for Astralis this time, and they're going to hunt down this last kill. One tag from the Deagle, and Glaive finishes him off. Quick 3-0, efficient 3-0. But now we get the AK-47s out for MIBR on the offense.
Yeah, efficient, as you say, only 3 kills. AK-47s, Astralis not going to take any chances, showing respect, upgrading to AUGs and the M4. It's going to be no AWP in the hands of MIBR, couldn't afford one.
Device has one, though, and he can be so deadly on this map. Taco towards that B bomb site. Phelps going to go in the underpass. 3 players mid, and they're going to triple nade Device, and he's lucky to get away. Even Magisk is forced back. So early advantage to MIBR in this round. That is a great read. Magisk, he's being very bold considering his health.
That's well worth the investment of the grenade. Phelps, Fallen, and coldzera will take a chunk of damage, and they're going to turn tail and run. It leaves Phelps by himself in connector. There is a smoke blocking off the vision, but Magisk is perched up. Phelps very close to being found there. That would have been his life becoming forfeit. In the meanwhile, though, he has been boosted, so if Phelps were to spray through the wall, he would do a lot of damage at this stage.
That's how Zipnix took the damage that he's already taken. from Spam through the smoke, through that board as well. So MIBR gonna go for some bathrooms control, and there's finally Phelps not ready for that boost. Damage is converted into a frag, and Astralis have a one-man lead. MIBR still really passive on this map. 40 seconds left we're coming up on, and they haven't gained a whole lot of control. They haven't tested much of anything. Device has that low HP, but Dupree just drops a smoke now. That's going to run the clock down even more. This is going to be so tough, and I think MIBR is going to be forced to rotate back towards the B bomb site. Strategically, they're being outplayed.
That's where Glaive and Mages go waiting for them. That's exactly what's going to happen. Can the crossfire hold firm, or will B become their two? Grenades being exchanged, all funneling through the choke point, but Fallen is going to be able to get the kill alongside Fur. Things opening up nicely for the Brazilians, but they only have 8 seconds left. They've got to get on the side. The bomb's been dropped out from Zipex. They're not going to be able to get there in time. Dupree just has to survive, and the round will be going to Astralis. Time itself the enemy.
That's tough. MIBR had all the frags they needed, and that one kill that comes out that puts the bomb on the floor, MIBR could not recover. And that is something, remember, if you go back to the Legend stage, when we first saw this MIBR lineup played, very, very slow rounds that punish them so much. They cannot get into that habit with Astralis, because you know Astralis is going to save all the nades they have. And that is some intensity early on in the series, only 4 rounds in. Timeout called by MIBR to talk things over. I think we even heard Fallen touching on that, a few rounds early in the event, getting tentative, getting a little bit scared, waiting for aggression from teams that never came. It chewed time off the clock, and it happens again here.
I do wonder if Device is going to go for that quick peek again. Last round he got a barrage of grenades greeting him, down to about 30 health.
That'll be a trick I imagine MI brings out every few rounds. You never know when you're going to catch him there, but you want to at least train him to think, say, listen, if you want to go for that peek, it's fine, but you want him to think that he's going to be eating 2 to 3 grenades every time he does that. He might choose to jump up towards party instead to avoid those nades. Or he might choose to just push forward because he knows the buy might be low due to not falling before round time is over. Magic's still aggressive.
Such an aggressive player, confidence oozing, coursing through his veins. That might be our work positioning for a fast push, but now slowed down. Now we're going to pull the trigger. Now they're going to be coming straight out. Thick and fast onto the site. Glaive again has to try and hold, but he's not going to be able to do it. Taco finds his head and takes him down a peg. Zipex can't really do much from this position either. They're trying to plant the smoke. This is where Mage's positioned to be everything but Fallen is bodyguarding his teammates. And with Astralis having Dupree on the other side of the map, they may just set up to save.
That's a nice, simple take. Not a lot of utility for a full set piece, and MIBR just finds a timing. One pop flash over, get in before the Molotovs can be dropped by the defense. Glaive gets caught. More importantly, MIBR realizes we haven't encountered a whole lot of resistance getting into this site. Keep your eyes on the flanks. Magic aggression doesn't pan out. And Astralis plays it smart with these last 2 weapons. No reason to get close to going for this. Keep the AWP in Device's hands. He doesn't have money to rebuy it. First round, MIBR is in the semifinals with 1.
With the save gun, they have an opportunity to come back into this round. It would be incredibly scarce in terms of a buy, though. Dupree could drop Mages 3.7k. Do they want to go for it? You betcha. They're going for the full buy here, Astralis. This will put them down to very little money. So MIBR's golden opportunity to get back into this map, early doors, crack down the Danes. He's going to include another op, of course, save. No kits, however, which is surprising considering that Dupree has over $1,200.
Oh, here's some aggression for you from Astralis, though. This is what MIBR would be looking out for, but they're not actually have eyes on it. No one's in underpass. Glaive is going to keep pushing towards ladder. Even though Phelps has control, this could be so tough. This could catch a number of MIBR players off guard, and he flanks around towards the B bomb site. He's going to have all the information. Glaive is making a god-tier play. Will the timing treat him well?
Oh, Fallen is coming back towards him.
That's the bomb as well. It's going to be on the floor. Now they have to recover. Coldzera is there, and Glaive wanted the Molotov. He wanted to delay a little bit longer. It's not going to happen.
Phelps going to get the up hand of Dupree. Just turns around. Shimmies out of position. So MIBR have the player advantage. It's been a strange old round with Glaive flanking and becoming the flankee. And still 50 seconds at disposal for the T's. In no great rush.
Any piece of information Phelps can find here is valuable. One footstep made, and there it is. He heard at least one footstep. He might call that out as a drop. He might say there's two players here. Waiting for that push. Fur in the stairs. Going to try and apply a little bit of pressure on towards A. Fake smokes, fake flashbangs. Might pull Magus back for a moment. Might make him hesitate. Zipnix is going to be under so much pressure. He's so blind. Now he's recovered. The UMP gets nothing done. It's Magus to hold on.
And just a FAMAS. You'd love to have the Augur and M4 or any kind of upgrade. Maybe not required. Device is finding headshots. But Fur is 2. Magus going to take a bunch of damage, and coldzera finishes off the rest. There was a fleeting moment where he thought maybe Astralis could get back into the round, but it was quickly shut down.
Device even trying to turn to save that up, not able to get out fast enough. Nice peek from coldzera. You have to know if you're playing against Device, when he's in those situations, he doesn't even consider going for the 1-on-3s. They prioritize the AWP on the Astralis side of things. They'll be able to have it in the next round. But MIBR have withstood the early obstacles, the early pressure. They've forced Astralis back into a save. This is a really nice start to the offensive half.
A one-way ticket to a bunch more rounds, you'd have to expect. Just the Desert Eagle really stands between them. Not going to be a 5-player stack either. Dupree by himself.
It's not just a deal, it's a deal in Dupree's hands, which in this stadium, at this event, has done some incredible things in the past.
He's going to have to add another one to the arsenal of plays if the Astralis want to pick up this round. A lot of presence over on Banana, no one long. Zipex has made a move back towards Bank.
This is a nice, safe call for going up against a low economy. Out towards long, where you have the advantage of range with the AK-47s, clear some things out, move across the map. You know they'll be playing with just pistols. And Fur hears the bullets whizzing past, but they haven't cleared bathrooms just yet. And with this aggression from Dupree and Device, they'll know that the hit is not forthcoming. Fur turns into a lurker watching the flank. The rest of his team rotating around to the B bomb site, which for the moment is empty, is void of defense. This is the most basic presence you can have from Glaive. And now with Zipnix rotating back, they get a bit more aggressive with it, but nothing to fight with.
Oh, headshots are being connected though from Heaven. Going to keep them on the back foot. They can't afford to charge in just yet, but now that the herd has been thinned out somewhat from Taco, much more doable. Bomb planted. AK-47 was picked up by Dupree. Will be very happy to hold on to that on long, and he is the last man standing. He has no interest in even attempting this. AK-47 would be a very nice bonus out of this round.
I wonder if MIBR is actually going to be dedicated to this hunt. And no, they're pausing far back, so Dupree should be able to keep this AK-47. Not going to go for anything. So a third round, 3 in a row for the Brazilians as they recover. The round they had, they gained access to the B bomb site, ran out of time. They didn't flinch, they didn't blink, they came right back at it, right at that B bomb site. And they've got 2 rounds off the back of that. But another buy coming in for Astralis, and this AK, as we saw yesterday, has economic implications for the future. Will help them very much if they get into another tough spot.
Yeah, kept them going against NIP for 2 or 3 rounds longer than it probably should have. So every little helps when it comes to saving guns. Going to be a full purchase behind it. Couple of Orgs in play already. Zipex is going to pick up the 3rd. And Device once again has the AWP. He's pushed mid twice. This time, due to his spawn, going to be more passive. So it's only Dupree that's going to move in towards Connector by himself for the time being. And the grenade's going to force him back. Going to be taking bathroom control instead. Something that may start to play in the back of MIBR's mind, though, with that Glaive flank that we saw a few rounds prior, is having no one around playground or long. They are giving up a lot of the map here, and overpasses the map the CTs can play very aggressively on.
Yeah, I mean, the next question that MIBR has to ask themselves is how likely do they think a push like that comes out? Obviously, the long one we'll see at some point. But I don't think we'll see Glaive pushing through that underpass too frequently in this half. It's a nice boost from that. Just, again, just so much information being gained. Here we go, Dupree close up behind the smoke. I think MIBR wants to go through this. They're gonna wait for it to fade. Now walking in, Dupree with the off angle, sees the shadow, it's not good enough. Phelps immediately dispatches him and the AUG must hold on. Zipnix must hold on, but the Flames are gonna force his hand. Behind the smoke now and waiting, and he's gonna try and stop this plan. Is anyone from MIBR gonna watch it? When is the pounce from Zipnix?
Waiting for the backup to arrive, I think. He'd love to have some flashes precede the push, but they're not there. And Zipex is going to get evenly traded out. Device lends him a hand. They only have the one kit and one smoke in play, though. There is a Molotov in the hands of Coldzera, and Fallen is watching the angle. There is the Molotov being tossed out. This is where the smoke may need to be used, and Device is going to get the upper hand onto Fallen. Just when MIBR thought this round was safe, things are going horribly wrong. But Coldzera with two gets traded out by Device, who's going to hold on to the bomb. And he's going to get the defuse. Astralis will move 2 rounds in the lead.
That is a nasty shot from Device on Fallen with the up. What a very narrow angle to take for that fight, and Fallen expected it a little bit wider. Beautiful, beautiful job from Astralis to recover, but that's the kind of loss you're fine taking if you're MIBR. You get the plant, you get 4 players down. The money for Astralis is so low. It's going to be on the verge of another reset right there. That's a thing of beauty. And Astralis calls a timeout. They know the implications of this round. They must win it. MIBR can build up such a lead so quickly on this offensive half if they can reset Astralis one more time here.
I mean, it was an excellent retake, but as you say, Astralis still vulnerable. Still well and truly up against it, economically speaking. Zipex is just going to have a UMP in this round. Firepower will favor MIBR. Grenades also will favor the Brazilians. All to play for. A linchpin moment potentially on this half. Heavy stack on B as well for Astralis, having a lot of faith in Dupree to not overextend and get himself killed. And he will start to back away now, back onto the A side. Meanwhile, we're gonna have a triple stack potentially in play. The Danes stacking over, looking towards the T side. Can't see anyone just yet, though.
They have to do something to get an advantage. The nice thing about that boost, the information it gathers means they don't have to spend utility in those choke points. But Itaco has been way more aggressive than anyone's expected, but he misses his chance. Dupree gets back just in time. The nade does great damage, so does the tap away, and that busts up the stack over towards the B site. It may feel promising for MIBR. Some utility being expended, but not yet from Astralis, just the HE grenades. And you can see, even those they're holding on until it's a full commitment. This is dangerous, though. 4 players from the defense are here, and MIBR have telegraphed this just a bit. They might need to break this up, but they're so dedicated.
Dupree holding the angle, but Taco finds him, shuts him down. Another smoke there to stall a little bit longer. Zipex with the aforementioned UMP is putting each and every bullet to use. He's about to get pushed momentarily. Once that smoke clears, it's going to be 3 Brazilians breathing down his neck. Phelps slightly off on the spray, but Coldzera and Fur both chip in for kills. It leaves it to Magisk. He's looking for carnage, but he's not going to get it. He's on the receiving end of all the damage. Device next up to the plate. Can he deliver? No! Fur from bank is going to put this round in MIBR's back pocket. And Astralis are broken down once more.
What a battle from MIBR to get in. Astralis got over there in time. They knew what was coming. 4 players at the bomb site, still can't stop it. Great entries, great job from Phelps. Even though he doesn't get the kill, the damage, the attention occupied. And when you take that long to get into a site, you're gonna be prepared for the early retake from Astralis. It doesn't pan out, so investment again. Upgraded into CZs, the scout on Device, some armor. But MIBR poised to have a punishing T-half.
Absolutely, it was a great start for Astralis, but the economy gradually trickles away. Magisk, Desert Eagle in hand. Gonna send a chill down MIBR's spine, but that has been swept away thanks to Fur's double. Xyp9x gonna get one, too aggressive by Fur, walks out on the wrong side of the smoke. That is also an AUG now picked up. This is starting to get a little bit slippery for the T's. They've got plenty of time, but no bomb plant forthcoming and having to go back out into the open. There is also a scout for Device. We know he can land headshots. dupree's making a move around the side. Taco has been tagged now down to 56. This is getting very sketchy indeed. I believe dupree caught a player monster, but he doesn't want to show his hand too early. It would take far too many bullets at this range with the CZ. He wants to get up close and personal. He's giving information, he's feeding information to the rest of his team. They know that they're completely committed to the B site at this stage. They can just stay in position and wait. The pressure is on MIBR to push this. They've got a Molotov and a blast, but Taco is going to alleviate it, drilling into the head of dupreeh. Now Device and Xyp9x have got to pull off something truly memorable. Molotov down, just making sure no one's at the backside of the site. It funnels Xyp9x into the wall bangable positions now. 15 seconds, Fallen's been tagged too. Xyp9x and Device both coming with kill, and Device has done it again. There will be carnage in Katowice, and Astralis regain a 2-round lead.
The patience from Astralis is just unbelievable. No one moving, and you're exactly right. dupreeh had all the info. I'm amazed MIBR wasn't more aggressive about that. The problem was with that scout above, they did not have a smoke to block them off. They did not have a way to get into this site. Xyp9x had that AUG for so long, just waiting. Magisk wants another grand final. He wants another crack at the trophy. What a rebound for the Danes. And now both teams low on money. Both teams desperate.
From a position where it looked like MIBR would be leaping towards a rock-solid T-half, it's back up in the air again. Anybody's ball game. Neither team has a huge amount of grenades, and Taco going to take the initiative, but he's been Molotov down instantly. However, Mages baited into that peak with a UMP of all weapons.
I don't think he believed that there would be an AWP on the map. And you talked about this earlier, this aggression out towards long. dupree's position is so strong. Again, can gather intel, but more importantly, he's at such an off angle, but Fallen sees it coming. A double kill now. What a beautiful read from Fallen. He's opened up this map, and now Astralis, how do you get into it? The next call is Device to get aggressive. You don't see this too often. He's more of a passive AWPer, and he's gonna get punished. Fur's able to find him. Device didn't even know it was coming. Xyp9x's position is called out, and MIBR is creeping. They're constricting upon this position. Xyp9x has to hold, and he has to maintain his aggression. He has to go for it. They line up for him. coldzera takes massive damage, but shuts him down.
Now it comes down to Glaive. The brains behind the operation. Can he also be the brawn? coldzera gonna get the plant down. Just 13 health to his name. Fallen, 48. That smoke is going to do so much work for MIBR now, though. Glaive is going to either have to wait this out, which really dwindles away time, or push through. He's going to wait. He's hoping that one of MIBR push this, but there's no reason for them to do that at all. He's just playing the waiting game, hoping for a mistake. Now the smoke is cleared. He's going to start to make a move in. coldzera's been spotted and killed, but at this stage,
oh dear.
It's so difficult. They're actually not in great position to hold off this plant. Oh, the spray! Glaive has played this one so well, going to hold on to the side. No, Taco! No. He's whipping the hot spray! No. The bomb is going to go down. MIBR pick up the round, but it was so very close.
I cannot believe he tried to do that. The balls on that man. So smart. The smoke with the spam through. That could not have been much closer, and Glaive almost steals one away.
The thing is, even though they concede the round, that's all of MIBR died with him as well. So they're going to have to replenish all of their weapons. You can see here at the end, Glaive did so much work. But the positions weren't great for MIBR with the bomb planted on truck. Excellent read onto Fallen. How close was this?
This had to have just been so incredibly... I cannot believe that happened, but what a heroic effort out of Glaive. Up on top of the truck, that spam wasn't even coming close. He wasn't going to get touched. MIBR get away with one. They started to fall back a little too early and out of position to really stop that plant. Fallen, you could see, with the AWP and the smoke, he had to pull the Knight out. Another chance for MIBR to catapult a pretty strong lead in this game, but another forced buy out of Astralis. They just won this previously. It'd be so gutting for MIBR if they cannot convert this, if it happens again.
Both teams fully investing. Glaive gonna decide to just push straight in with Mages. This is where the extra bullets for the Galil could actually work out for Kako, but the lack of firepower will not. Glaive gets the headshot, that is an assault rifle, now switching hands, and the player advantage. But they've shown their hand. Dupree from the shadows takes Coldzera's head clean off his shoulders.
Oh, look at the use of the smoke to fall back. Fallen doing what he can to spray through. They have to get into this A site. Oh, Device is caught off guard. Phelps has that, but now they're crunched. They're pushed forward enough, but Astralis is on both sides. They have to fight their way out in every direction. And Astralis now backing off, letting the plant go down, getting in position for the retake. MIBR not out of danger whatsoever.
Grenade chipped Fur as well, so he's in pistol range. Glaive did so much work in the round prior, is going to be called upon once again. His brethren are falling all around him, but Glaive is going to go in for one. It's a 2-on-2. Mages, long range, taps the head off Fallen, but he doesn't have a kit for Magisk at this stage. It's a little bit of time though to try and get back onto the site, but he's not entirely sure where Fur is. Oh, this round should be done now. MIBR just got to play the time. Yes, Mages does clean up. Not enough time to get the bomb defused though. And Astralis will concede. We're all even at 6 apiece.
But that is, I mean, another, even in losses, Astralis is so dangerous. Look what they've done to the money of MIBR. I mean, I don't know who you're going to say is going to have the stronger buy-in. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If Astralis reads the money situation, they might invest into this round. They might just go for it. It would be a big risk for them, but there's nothing really to be too pleased about on the MIBR side. They, out of a victory, they're going to have rifles with very little utility. Coldzera is going to be on the MAC-10, so why not go for it? Again, it's only if Astralis can read it. A second timeout being taken for the Danes.
It is truly scary now for Astralis after a 4-0 lead.
They're going for it, Vince. This is great. I love this out of Astralis. They're going to challenge for this round. Neither team giving an inch in this matchup.
Has been a real battle for each and every inch of the map. Astralis consistently on the back foot. They've been sucker punching MIBR consistently. MAC-10, couple Galils, couple of AKs. Astralis have a slightly better buy than they did in the round prior. A solid flashbang, and they're going to push behind this too. Astralis going to take the fight to the T's. I believe there is actually a boost up, or at least it's coming into play. Fur peering across, looking for any information to try and execute off. If a player gets spotted here, that could be a total telegraph across to the Brazilians.
I'm pretty sure he spotted the shoulder. I mean, they still have no idea. Magisk is right on the other side of that wall, which can be the real death trap. Here he comes, moving forward. There's the deep Molotov, there's the peek. Oh, and he's giving up his position. Now it's going to be so hard to get back. Holds the trigger. They can't turn the corner. First, Phelps is down low. Oh, the reload. That's a poor time, and Fur certainly going to punish him. But what comes next? Phelps is low. Astralis, in a way, come out on top of that engagement.
And he stalled them for a good 20-30 seconds, did plenty of damage to Phelps, and additionally, Astralis now have a very healthy set of grenades.
Yeah, for this much time, look at how many ways they can stall. 3 smokes still, 3 Molotovs as well. This is... MIBR is nowhere close to being out of this one. Gonna start moving up, but they have to start moving a little bit faster. Phelps with low HP might have to just sit back and watch the flank, make sure Device can't come up those stairs behind him. Dupree is alone at the A site. 25 seconds now. MIBR once again running the clock down low. Phelps, is he gonna be aware? He spots it at the last second. Doesn't get touched. And this spot, we see it so often go unchecked, and is Fur gonna go for it? Look at the time, Vince.
Just 12 seconds left. There's damage still being inflicted by grenades. Molotov starting to come down. Fur is gonna get the better of Dupree, but they're having to run over. Liquid fire, and MIBR have done it. It looked like it was gonna go the way of Astralis and the Danes, but instead, the Brazilians come out swinging right at the bitter end.
That is so much trust you have to have in your teammates if you're MIBR to run the clock down that low to make that hit work. They do it spectacularly because Astralis seemed like they had everything needed to stall that out. But now MIBR finally get an iron grip on the lead. It's 7-6, and Astralis must save for the last round. This defense has been battered and broken finally.
This is the choice of MIBR, and so far so good. Magisk riddled with bullets from coldzera's hands. It's Zipex that has the lone deagle this time. Woo. Nice work by Taco, gets an eco, but you can only shoot what's ahead of you, and he's done that with expert marksmanship. It is going the way we anticipated, though, Moses. It's been pretty smooth sailing this round for MIBR. A bit of a relaxing round after how back and forth it's been.
Time to take a breath, and what better pairing than Taco and coldzera? So much history between those two in the way that they're able to play together and the synergy that they have. They're the ones clearing out that B bomb site. 8-6, MIBR going to try and gain a 3-round lead, but there's one last trick up Astralis' sleeve. They switch into a double up setup. It's Glaive with one, Device with the other. That's going to hurt in terms of utility and kits on those two players. The other three have plenty of nades to work with. But will MIBR expect this switch? Glaive has his towards the B bomb site. Device in bathrooms at A. Phelps is going to be the aggressor. There's Glaive. He might have spotted it out, eat some nade damage, but they have Glaive pinned down for the moment, who's got to get aggressive behind a smoking monster. A small gap in that smoke could be the end of MIBR. This position is so tough to get multi-kills from with the AWP. He might have to be aggressive.
Oh, how did that miss?
He was moving just a little bit, just one last step, threw it off. That's going to be frustrating. Oh, Fur, so fortunate to get away. The timing in his favor.
Such an important moment. Glaive narrowly misses out. Now it's up to Device, the other AWP, to pick up from where he left off. Flashback perfectly placed to force him back. He will not get any kills on the approach.
And Dupree in a supportive setup behind that smoke to make sure no one comes through for the punish. Another piece of utility, and Device wants to get in front of it. He wants to get aggressive. Fur's the only one here. No chance of a trade if Fur peeks this. There's the flashbang. He's blind. The timing doesn't work. Fur can't find him either. He's content to just force him back for the moment. And still, this march of MIBR, everyone thinks it's going to be the A-bomb site. They've made it seem like the A-bomb site. But Taco, he's ready to pounce. Magisk just gets away. Here comes the rotation. But the angle, they never saw coming. And Phelps is going to build. Now over the top. He's picked off. But coldzera's in with the plant. And Device, he's the last one left. It's the last round of the half, and he must go for it.
Don't peek him too many times, especially as Fur is on the prowl. He's going to be landing this flank kill unless someone beats him to the punch. And it'll be coldzera that KOs Astralis for a 9-6 lead.
What a half from MIBR.
And I'll take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh. Shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright, it's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night, one more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
MIBR went down 4-0, but a brilliant game plan gave them 9 of the next 11 rounds. They lead at half, 9-6 over Astralis, the best team in the world. MIBR's had to build their way into this event. We were wondering which was going to show up. The lackluster team that we saw early on, or the dangerous one we saw qualify and dominate the quarterfinals. Here we are, second half begins.
This is an MIBR that has gone from strength to strength, knocking Astralis down a peg or two. But now the roles reversed, with Astralis on the aggression. MIBR falling back. They did take the early engagements. Dupree took a bit of damage, but nothing is going to stick.
The fact that Fur was the only player at A, though, they couldn't be aggressive. They don't have any information of what's coming as Astralis just quickly clears out everything. Taco takes one shot, now he falls away. There's no smoke to stop this, as we saw earlier. Cold Zera over at Toxic Barrels. Him and Taco have to do everything. Phelps, whoever goes balcony is going to be smoked off. Phelps is going to get here just a half second late. Cold Zera looking down. He's going to be free. Dupree's got him. And now the battle is truly on, and Matt just builds upon it. Astralis is in so fast. They strike like lightning, and the round is over.
So aggressive by the Danes. Best possible way of coming out the blocks in the second half. Fur at least is going to claim one headshot. Oh, and a second. Beautiful flick to Glaive. Should be a drop in a bucket, though, all things considered. And indeed, Zipex will make that the case. So Astralis have picked up both pistol rounds on Overpass. And it just goes to show how dominant MIBR were on rifles, that they still lead by 2 rounds.
We'll see if they decide to use that lead to save up for rifles or if they go for it. And actually, we have our answer already. They're going to buy up the Deagle's SMG on Fur with a couple of those kills. 4 smokes to work with. MIBR look to respond in this second round. Astralis took a punch in that first half, but they don't look phased whatsoever. Calm and collected still.
And they've had their time in the corner. Zonic applying the sponge, and now they're good to brawl again. MIBR, as you say, do invest into this round.
They're pretty centralized. Falling Fur close up towards stairs. Phelps right at the door. It's only Taco at B. That's the tough part, is he can't really hold along for these flanks to come to fruition. Phelps has to pounce now. He's done some damage. Taco gets aggressive in Monster. They're going to clear it the whole way, and Taco has no idea which way to look. I think MIBR just have to give up this round. Save those guns moving forward. Fallen's going to get in the fight, gets a dink, but you can see Fur wants nothing to do with it. They just try and save their weapons. They're going to be successful. They can try again in the next round with another stack.
Certainly can. Meanwhile, Fur's going to be taking a bit of an aggressive angle on the off chance that Astralis do go looking. See if they can increase their weaponry, but now strength in numbers. I think both teams will be relatively happy with this outcome. If Astralis go and send in the MAC-10 or UMP, these are expendable guns, but they don't really want to upgrade themselves either. So it will be 9-8. With MIBR, another crack with 4 guns and Kevlar behind it.
You have to wonder how much they want to invest in terms of utility if they want to rebuy any smokes. That would hurt them in the next round. See there, Zipnix, I believe that was a record at the time of most clutches in a single event. A little bit quieter this time, but we saw his impact yesterday withstanding NIP in the quarterfinals on Dust 2. He was a big part of the puzzle, a big part of the reason why Astralis is here fighting MIBR in the semis. Dupree's gonna take the aggressive, he pulls out, oh Lord, the jumping MAC-10. Rarely seen, but very effective, and he's gonna go for another.
Gonna have to be pardoned by the clutch minister himself after that filth. In the meanwhile, though, MIBR have lost the second player, all stacked in connector with a smoke in their eyes. Not much they can do about this. They're gonna have to concede the bomb plant and likely the round.
Yeah, they just saved the armor at this point. I know it's not the most fun to watch, but there's no reason for them to get even close to this bomb site. No reason for them to go for it. That's $1,000 that you don't have to spend in the next round. That is not a high percentage fight, and he almost gets a little love tap right at the end. Now positioned to get some exits. If any of the AKs turn this corner, actually there's only one, so there's not really any weapon that Astralis has except for Magisk that MIBR would necessarily care for.
Yeah, they want to upgrade to the Orgs and the AWP if they can get their hands on it. Glaive gonna be going in alongside Dupree and Device. Actually, there's 4. Make that all 5 of Astralis waiting around the corner. They're gonna be looking to try and push in, but actually they're just holding back, and Fallen peeks into his demise.
Yeah, they really, again, they really don't care. There's no need for them to take any of those weapons away. They know the next round is gonna be upgraded, so Fallen gets pulled into a small mistake there. That extra $1,000 that he just gave up would have been utility, would have been a kit. Instead, he's going to go for the AWP, and he'll have the chance for armor. And he almost has to buy head armor because he knows they have UMPs. So no nades for Fallen. All due to that death right at the end. That AWP will be out towards long. A couple UMPs and AK-47s, 3-man stack for MIBR at this bomb site, and Astralis wants to get there quick, will at least gain some control and have a point of aggression.
Magisk has had a phenomenal major so far, continuing in a very positive way. 112 ADR to his name, 17 kills. Lack of utility is going to become more and more of a burden for MIBR as the seconds tick forward. And Astralis now going to start to make moves through Monster. Dupree also laid in wait. Wait for that red mist to descend. Phenomenal when it comes to entry fragging, and he may be called upon. Unleashed. Here come the wall of smoke's gonna blot out the sun for MIBR. They're gonna look to try and counteract with some flashbangs, but they're taking them. Additionally, Zipex still waiting to move in. Now the green light has been punched. Now they're gonna start to funnel their way onto the site. MIBR can't really do anything to stop this plan. And it's gonna be a double peek. They've actually sent the bomb there. Why have you done that, Astralis? You have shot yourself in the foot. Zipex close range gets bested by Phelps, and it's all gone horribly wrong. But Astralis gonna hold on for dear life. They've got Dupree to play with. He's gonna try and take the fight to Fallen. Close range of Fallen puts him down with the AWP.
You're exactly right. That is a mistake you don't often see out of Astralis. That bomb turning the corner was brutal. That eats so much time and so many players they have to send to go retrieve it and try and recover the situation. MIBR's loving that. A gift especially because they weren't even fighting for the bomb site. They weren't even fighting to stop the plant. Astralis just hands him one on the silver platter. Still the money is low for the defense. Still MIBR must win 2 in a row. Fallen still with the AWP. And a very, very strong buy for Astralis, and likely another one in the next round if they need it. Some calculated aggression, a calculated risk Glaive's brought down. Dupree, again, going to be aggressive towards Sandbags, waiting for coldzera to fall back. That smoke is going to take away the opportunity. Still no pressure towards the two defenders on the other side of the map. Fallen and Fur haven't seen anything in bathrooms. There's a smoke at the moment, but they're not going to care about that whatsoever. They're waiting to see members of Astralis.
There was a Molotov toss down as well on Banana just ahead of Fur, but it's not going to push him out of position just yet.
This defense at B, they don't have a deep angle over towards Monster, and actually, again, it might be a similar scenario. If the utility is used and that hit comes in again, they might not be able to actually fight for this bomb site, this boost. Just a little bit of vision, and there's the bomb. Great shot from Phelps. And look at all the Molotovs. MIBR, miscommunication, they double it up, but they won't care. It still does its job. It holds off the hit just a little bit longer.
Yeah, it stalls, allowing MIBR to now start to rotate round. Fallen is making a move. In the meanwhile, Fur's going to hold position in case they try and rotate up through Connector. They had enough time. Taco pushed on the back of the site with the MP9. SMG up close and personal, looking to tear and rip through the flesh of Astralis. It's going to be Phelps that goes in on Zipex, but Dupree and Device this time not going to be making the same mistake twice. coldzera tries to peek and stop the bomb plant, but it's going to be the cost of his life. And now Fallen waiting to sting alongside Fur. Trying to make a move in. Mages holding the close angle. The off angle, not one that you necessarily peek first and foremost. Fallen, if he peeks the barrel of his gun's gonna let him off, but Fallen, strike he shall. The affliction begins to spread. It's all on Device. Does he have the cure? So far, so good. It's gonna stall more time away. Fallen with his organ have to land a headshot. Device will not miss. Astralis will pick up a 10 and a 4K for Device.
He couldn't save the op at the end, and that's shattered the money. MIBR needed to hold on to that, and they just couldn't do it. What a nice job from Device. 4 kills from those Sandbags, and that is a huge round. Astralis can regain the lead off the back of it because MIBR simply has nothing to battle with. And again, MIBR prioritizing surviving and keeping control of the water. They're not actually trying to stop this bomb going down, and this time Astralis makes the most of it. A lot of freedom for those Astralis players to be able to take the angle, as you saw from Device, up towards the balcony. Investment from MIBR due to the fact they would have had a double save. This might keep the op out of Fallen's hands moving forward. He saved what he could at 850.
Taking the aggression hasn't yielded anything as of yet. Just the one smoke to play with, and time again we are seeing Dupree get up close on short. Fur's been caught, but Magisk is there to avenge his former teammate. What a 1D by Fallen. That's also the bomb dropped in an AK in his hands. Fallen not able to chime in with another kill, but he is giving information to the rest of his team. I believe that was aim punch that completely neutralized him. Couldn't get his cross anywhere near the player.
No, but you're right. I mean, that's opened up the map as well. And now Astralis have to be careful. Anyone from MIBR can be anywhere on this side of the map. They have not been here, and you can see that's why they're clearing it so closely. Taco's going to start hearing these footsteps pretty soon, but they slow it down. 45 seconds left. Taco, the only one here. I think he's just missed the timing for information, but it's all right. coldzera still on the bomb site. The nade usage is going to give it up, and coldzera must hold on, playing behind the smoke, trying to play to stop the plant. In position, that's a nasty off angle. Even Zipnix doesn't consider it. Dupree can swing it towards water, but there's 3 players, and Phelps is going to start flanking around as well. The timer is on for Astralis. They're starting to get suffocated here. Big kill for Dupree. Now checking the flank. Magisk gets 1. They must know Taco is around. He has not been able to get into this fight just yet, but look at the time. Taco can stop this. He tags him. They're so low. 1 will do it for each player, and he can't. Magisk gets him first. Somehow pulls Astralis out of a deep hole in the round. And they take the lead 11-10. Offense is reigning supreme on Overpass.
As is Mages, 20 kills to his name. So impactful in that round. As you say, he really dug Astralis out of a horrible position. They regained the lead, but more importantly than that, MIBR's finances are in the bin once again. This should be a 2 or 3 round lead opening up for Astralis now. At the business end of the first map. And remember, this was MIBR's pick.
And it's the weakest map in Astralis' pool by win-loss record. So if you're MIBR, you're feeling like you must have this. Very passive setup for Astralis. They were just punished in the previous round. by some aggressive play towards Fountain. They do not want to go through that hell again. Phelps and coldzera are going to join up with Fallen and Fur. We haven't seen a lot of emphasis on this part of the map. That's a perfect peek from Device that allows him to get away. No chance for rebuttal, going to go for more. Hasn't seen it behind the tree. There's the dink. Oh, and Fur. You want to talk about how good Magisk is playing. Fur has been stellar, 18 kills, leading the way for his team. A little two-tap there, and Magisk, a chance again. coldzera is going to call for a teammate over. Magisk is committed, but he's spraying as well. Phelps is down for the count, and they know exactly where Fur is. No chance he gets away. Stuck in the open. It's going to be a 12th round for the Danes. The chances for MIBR down the stretch are dwindling.
Now may be the time for a tactical timeout if you're MIBR. This is such an important, influential round, but they're not going to go for it. They feel confident in their decision, and that's going to be an AWP, 3 AWPs, and M4. Here's the spray control from Magisk. Super solid. That does mean, Jason, they're going to have no kits, no Molotovs or HEs.
This is tough. This is where you want your superstars to step up. Fallen with that AWP in particular. Have him find you a pick. This round is so important for MIBR. Astralis have largely ignored the A bomb site and even just trying to clear out bathrooms. They haven't even messed with it. They don't even want to go at Fallen. This might be a round where they switch that up.
Oh, unlucky for Fallen, only landing the leg shot. Magisk spirals down to 16 health. This is where HEs would be a godsend from MIBR to finish him off, but they don't have any. Just 2 smokes left on their belt too. That kill could have been so important.
What a player to get a leg shot on though. Magisk has been insanely effective with his aggression. Nades raining over, but the bomb is still so far back. So Fur, he's an aggressive stance in bathrooms. He's gonna, oh, that predicted spam. Glaive, you tricky guy, and jumping over, tries to get the information and position. This has kept Phelps here at A though. Taco and coldzera to defend the B bomb site. That's where the hit is coming all along. Astralis have masked this so well, but Fur is getting all the needed information. Perfectly timed peek.
Flash in just to stall. Dupree's coming off, spins around on a swivel and lands the headshot. But coldzera is holding the line, and there's Taco. A full house of frags, and Taco takes the bulk of them, gifting MIBR another lifeline.
That pop flash peek was so good. I mean, we're not going to see too much. You won't get any of the highlights. Fur gets so much information. That fake hit towards A. Fur just pushes immediately afterward, and they know it's coming B. Taco and coldzera don't flinch. Phelps is able to rotate back just in time because of the information gathered. If Phelps isn't there, I think they turn the corner and Taco and coldzera go down and they lose that round. Just at the right moment, but the ult still not out. Not in the hands of Fallen this time. Oh, right through the smoke. Fur continues his tear. MIBR looking to even things up. Again, maybe this is why Astralis has leaned towards the B bomb site so much. They took a leg shot in the previous round. Fallen wreaked havoc on them at Fountain 2 rounds ago, and here they lose Zipnix. It's been costly to venture towards these bathrooms for Astralis.
Additionally, we haven't really seen MIBR push through short side at all. So Dupree's been getting there constantly. Look at this though, Astralis making moves, making inroads over on the B side of the map. It's about to get tested. It's about to get punched. Can the MIBR hold the line? They're going to have to wipe away the flashbangs from their eyes if they're going to pull this one off. coldzera has been here before. They're anticipating it. He somehow hasn't taken any damage though for his troubles, but now he's given his position away. There's one. The Glaive's going to counteract instantly. His bomb still ticking away. Device has been found from Phelps. The player advantage now falls in the Brazilian's hands. That's a perfect smoke. It's going to keep Glaive and Dupree at bay. The bomb is being defused. No one's going to peek it. MIBR are going to get the defuse in the smoke. And there's nothing Astralis can do about it.
Could have gone for the spam, but in a 2-on-3, you're hoping they get off it and give you a chance. A nice timely smoke, and Phelps, as much as we talk about Fur's aggression, he is very aggressive in situations like that. Gets the wide angle on Monster before they expected it. Astralis must take a timeout. 12-12, it's all tied up. This is the last buy they've got for the moment. If they don't win this, they'll be out. They fought so hard. They took MIBR's best punch. They start this half on a 6-1 run. And slowly but surely, MIBR is wrestling control away from them. And they need it back. 19 kills on coldzera and Fur. 22 on Magisk for Astralis.
It's been cultured Counter-Strike back and forth. So little to determine between the two teams.
There's a small pocket, a small corner of Brazilian fans powering this entire arena. 12-12. Round 25 coming in hot, and it's going to be fast-paced. Astralis is not going to slow down.
Slowing down for nobody. coldzera in a different angle this time around. He's going to be spraying. Oh, and two. Zipex and Dupree have both been sprawled out of the round, but now the yo-yo of Counter-Strike will start to swing in their favor. The pendulum is striking in the faces of MIBR. Third and 1 on 3. In the blink of an eye, this round goes away from them. After coldzera with a double. What can Fur feasibly do? He's got some grenades, he's got a kit. And the AK-47, he's been playing lights out Counter-Strike here at Katowice. The Mages will not allow him to pass. Astralis regain the lead, what a call.
You have to admire Astralis' ability to go from cold and calculated Counter-Strike into just brute force in that fashion. Even with coldzera getting the opening 2 kills, usually that stalls out a hit of that speed. A hit like that usually just ends, but Glaive, oh, MIBR coming out a door too fast. They don't check the angles, and Taco just couldn't hold on without those reinforcements. They were so desperate for that. And now MIBR out of money. Gonna save, they'll buy in the next. They'll fight to keep Astralis off map point for as long as possible.
How many times has Dupree gone for this identical play? He's constantly on short side of B. I mean, this round there's not much MIBR can do about it, but he's doing it when they've got rifles too. Taco tagged up first. Is the buddy system on long again? Did yield a kill last time around, but Astralis aren't interested. They only have B in their minds. At this point, A may as well not exist. There's not a great deal that MIBR can do about this. They do have the majority of their players over at the backside of the site, but Glaive's found himself some prey, and he will bite down hard.
And this MIBR defense at the B bomb site really has not adapted a whole lot throughout this half. They keep trying to play around these smokes that Astralis is putting up, playing on the right side of the bomb site, trying to delay, trying to look over. And Astralis, these past few times they've attacked there, have read that perfectly. It's going to be 14-12. It's going to be Astralis with money to outlast MIBR down the stretch. It's going to be one last strong buy from MIBR in the next round, and they must take everything from it.
Phil was hoping to maybe land a headshot and get one of these players killed off the detonation, but won't be happening. He takes a bit of damage for his troubles, but Astralis 14-12 in the lead. And as you perfectly highlighted, Moses, this could be all for MIBR. They have got to come out. They have got to start to get a streak of their own coming in.
They have everything, well, not everything, but they have a lot of what they could want. Fallen on the AWP is one of them. The biggest thing they're lacking is kits. They have smokes, they have Molotovs. Glaive knows exactly how to attack, exactly where to find those MIBR players. None of that matters now, though. Round 27, it all rests here for MIBR, trying to keep Astralis off map point as long as possible. And Fur's gonna get aggressive. We know he loves this. We haven't seen it too much in this half. This might be the perfect time to call this. Device looking for it, at least initially. But if Fur is never forced back, he will choose a time to pounce. He's got Fallen covering the stairs behind him. With that AWP, and Magisk might go right into it.
It's tentative. Major's gonna take the first hit. Fallen trades against him. I believe that was a leg shot. Free kill for Fur. Patience proving to be a virtue. Does alleviate, once again, the A and mid portion of the map.
He's looking for more. Fur's getting aggressive, so I mean, he knows exactly what's coming. You imagine, I mean, Fallen's watching for the retreat up the stairwell from Astralis. It's not going to happen. So they haven't actually been able to stack this bomb site with 4 people, which is a little bit dangerous. But Coldzera, Phelps, and Taco, they should be able to hold on.
It's raining Molotovs. MIBR need to somehow hold on for dear life. Astralis aren't pushing behind this just yet, though.
They have another round of nades. They wanted the counter nades, and they got him. There's only one flashbang on Fur, but he's got this sick flank, and he's dropped!
Information gathered, though. Glaive is there. At this stage, MIBR know it's going to be a B hit. There's not enough time to rotate, but Taco's lost his head.
Oh no, oh dear, they're gonna go back. Phelps and Coldzera can call this out. They can actually stop it. Look at Fallen. He can get such a deep angle in. He's still here. He's still holding on. He's gonna take the peek. He's got Magus. He can build. This is a big risk for Astralis, and it might be their death. It might be their doom, and Fallen is making them pay for it. Into the bomb site we go. Coldzera's arrived, and Astralis is shut down. MIBR still fights on.
It's why I said they didn't have enough time. You can't check all the angles. You can't efficiently clear out the site. And Fallen, he is so damn good. He's always going to be a step ahead of you in positions like that.
Just right at the wrong weapon. The AWP that can take those deep angles, that can get into cover. That was brutal. One slight miscalculation from Astralis. Still chances here. Again, MIBR must build upon this. And look at the stack. They're trying to read the counter call. They're saying, Astralis, you haven't attacked this part of the map too heavily, very frequently. Now might be the time for you to change things up. You think we've been lulled into a sense of security over here. That's not to be.
An excellent call, but will the execution be up to scratch?
Fallen's not really covered. Fur must win this. He's got both. Device does take out Fallen, but MIBR comes out on top.
They certainly do, and there's not really much of a chance to bounce back. Fur holds on with the AWP. Magisk has been silenced. MIBR's bloodthirst not quenched just yet. UMP, not great at angles like that, but at least he's going to chip away Glaive, keep him caught in 2 binds. Now Phelps from the shadows is going to strike onto Glaive and maybe able to double up. No, Zipex going to be able to get the kill. He does have control of the bomb, but this is certainly a telegraph play. There's also a play that was just hopping up for information. That's Taco. He's going to have his retinas burned out, but he just has to stay in position just to survive. Even if Zipex gets this bomb plant, it's going to be a 3-on-1 retake.
Call him the clutch minister. Call him the cyborg, call him whatever the hell you want. He stands between MIBR and immortality. They must find him in this moment.
Flash out into the peak, nothing forthcoming. MIBR are playing this one very cautiously. A lot of the time, though, has dwindled. Zipek's gonna fight the first, but it's at the cost of 97 health, and the rest has been finished off by Fur. That's one way to deal with a clutch master. Blow his kneecaps out.
Yeah, but you can see they were giving him so much respect. They were so slow in getting into that bomb site. Almost letting him build into the clutch. A full defuse, full 10 seconds. That plan is going to help Astralis out. What a round from Fur. 4 kills. This guy is an absolute monster in this game so far. A timeout called. Round 29. What does Astralis have? We know they have one of the deepest playbooks. See them win with brute force. We've seen them win with tactics. Which option do they go with here? A perfectly called stack for MIBR in the last round. They have a very good read. As we know, Fallen is confident that he can outcall Astralis. He's got to do it one more time. 2 more times, really, but if Astralis can't win this round, they'll be so low on funds.
Looking to be charged by the effervescence of the crowd here. MIBR, Fallen has outcalled Astralis quite a few times. To be fair, they've mind-gamed themselves out a couple rounds as well, the Danes. But it all rests on this. Not great weaponry. Magisk with a deagle, Glaive with the UMP, gonna decide to just go for ruthless aggression. They're Fallen. He is rock solid right now, not missing a shot.
They just spent so much utility and the life of Device to get this close. And they have nothing left in the tank. They get stalled out. Fur, I don't think he's heard these footsteps.
This angle is good for one, but not even that. Mage just perforates his head, evoking the wrath of Astralis or MIBR. That grenade shocks Coldzera and Phelps. Unbelievable damage has been inflicted already. 2 smokes and the choke points. And this is one-dimensional. MIBR don't have anyone rotating. Even if they did, Zipex is there, so he can bolster up the rest of his team if they start falling down. This is looking phenomenal for Astralis, but Fallen's going to wall bang. Mage just out of the round. Glade's going to stand tall with an AWP of his own. And now the smokes are starting to clear. Now MIBR can regroup. Now they can start to push on, especially as Glaive has been found. But it could come down to Zipex once again. Time is so low. It's looking great. They're going to stick the side. But there's Dupree! Vintage performance from him. MIBR have the round slip through their fingers.
That's an example of Fur's aggression going the wrong way. The only player dedicated into the bomb site. No crossfires set up. No one even watching for that slow peek, but Dupree wrapping around this truck is beautiful. 15-14 Astralis, they do it again and again, and it's so difficult to shut them down. They always find a way to make something work. And now look what MIBR has to fight with. Scraps. 2 SMGs, a FAMA's the most powerful gun, and 2 CZs. No kits, no utility.
They've done work with buys like this so many times in the past. But the semi-finals of a major, they have it within them to do it one more time. If they do, we're heading to overtime. 2 smokes at HE. A mixed bag of weaponry. Scraping the very bottom of the barrel, taking as much out as possible.
Even Astralis, I mean, they sacrificed 2 weapons on Magisk and Device just for the nades. Bomb's still far back, so Astralis is not ready to commit to anything just yet. Still looking for information, for intel, still just trying to gain map control. This is a battle from Fur that must be won. I don't know how he swings out wide, though. He's got to be careful. Does not want to get baited by those footsteps. Playing it intelligently for the moment. He's got Fallen to back him up. Oh, now he pulls in. Now there's the AK chiming in. Glaive doesn't blink. And Fallen, he's all alone on an island. And Glaive just playing with them for the moment. Now he knows exactly where to go. Now he knows what to call. And the A bomb site is open for business. And Astralis marching into a map 1 victory.
The slight gap with the smoke, though. Coldzera is able to get one on nearly a second, but he switches around. He felt pressured, and the last kill of Overpass comes in. It's going to go the way of Astralis, but by the skin of their teeth.
What a hard-fought victory. MIBR gave that everything. They could never get a hold on their CT side. They could never get comfortable with any kind of a lead. A 24-kill performance from Fur, a 23-kill performance from Coldzera. It all goes to waste. It's 26 from Magisk that gives Astralis their first map. We're going to a break. When we come back, the desk is ready for you.
Champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Think you've seen it all?
Are you ready to be a part of Counter-Strike history?
ESL One returns to Cologne in 2019.
Are you searching for a better Counter-Strike experience all in one place? Compete for over $1 million in PUG and League prizes all on one platform. Track and share your performance with our advanced stats pages. Frag out and rank up on the industry-leading anti-cheat. Sign up for ESEA today.
Think he can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on? Oh, baby. Wanna get down? Whoa.
MIB versus Astralis. This has been a slugfest, to say the absolute least, in a map that you would hate to see end one way or the other. Great Counter-Strike being delivered here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. My name is Trey Saranthus, alongside of Sean Gares and Jacob Vinicky. We're going to be walking you through what just took down here on Overpass and who took down that of MIBR.
And just like the last 7 of their 8, this one goes the distance. All 30 rounds. Astralis winning both pistols. The first gun round on their first half. I think that was what really, changed how this match fell.
I think MIBR is going to be very disappointed.
Yes.
They weren't able to win this match. As you said, they lost both pistols, yet they still had a very strong T side. It felt like they dominated Astralis to a point on that T side. Felt like they were in full control, and it really felt like MIBR was very well prepared coming into this Overpass matchup. It slipped through, though. They weren't able to clinch it, and that's a big off.
So the 3 rounds that MIBR lost where they had guns, the 1v3 to start where they ran out of time, the force buy that they lost, and then their 3v3 retake on the A site where Device hit an insane shot on Fallen. Every other round they had rifles, they won in that first half, and yet still they fall in this game.
Yeah, and one thing that definitely didn't make it easier for them, of course, all things considered, and everyone firing is just as high caliber as they can go here, Magisk. This guy put on a performance. I could run you through all the numbers I have in the world here. I could talk to you about how, he had 106.1 ADR, or between him and Glaive, they combined for 16 multi-kill rounds. But he certainly put himself on the board here.
He was very impactful. It was also the guy with the Deagle getting the frag on Fer when he was pushed all the way up until the 8 bomb site that basically secured the round for Astralis. Super impactful, super good to see Magic's taking a role in this team, a little more proficient role, I would say. He's not normally the guy you go to and look towards when you need the big fraggers to come out for Astralis. He's always been that third star of the team. But this tournament so far, Magic's is playing some of his best Counter-Strike.
Yeah, like you said, the most important frag of the entire match was Magic's when he killed Fer at the truck in that angle. It was a 5v4, and he deegs Fer in the head. And from there, MIBR is kind of like baited into retaking that site when Fallen spams someone through the wall. And dupreeh just with the play of the game on the truck.
Yeah, it's almost like we've heard of that before. And I talked to you about numbers. I got some more for you. Right now, dupreeh, Glaive, Device, and Zipbex really kind of being put to the test here. This is an Astralis that we're seeing actually having to come online and use all the mechanisms. They're not just going to be cruising through Overpass.
I hate to point out specific players, but I'm a little bit disappointed in Fallen's performance in this matchup. I think he could have had a lot more impact with the AWP. He had many chances of getting kills. He wasn't really connecting all the shots, and he put himself in tough positions. Not a Fallen with confidence we're seeing right now playing.
Yeah, we definitely said that was one of the key things for MIBR to succeed in this matchup is Fallen hadn't really shown much so far in the event so far. And it wasn't until he got that 3K at the A bomb site, and that was really the only round that I can recall that he had impact in.
Well, the impact does not stop there, guys. In fact, we could even talk a little bit about that B side of the map. There was quite a bit going on there. Astralis trying to abuse this for what it's worth, Jacob.
Yeah, we have a little thing for the Telestrator I would like to show you guys. It's an orbital view of Astralis B bomb site hit at the score 9-9. So if we play out the clip right here, you can see the smokes and flash is coming in from Astralis, and it's a very basic hit from Astralis. They've done this 100 times before. Now, what I would like you guys to focus on is this guy in CT spawn and this dude. They really play together. This dude, as soon as the smokes comes in, he throws a smoke that's gonna land right here, which forces Astralis to move around this area if they want to get inside the pit area. So if we play out the clip, you can see what happens. They instantly get the smoke down. They instantly group up. They're both gonna stand around here, and this is what I like a lot about MIBR. They're playing together. They're really trying to do this and deal with this as a team. So in a second, you can see a third guy coming in from CT spawn, and this is where it all goes down. You have 1, 2, 3 guys from MIBR ready to deal with these 3 players from Astralis, and the trades goes down inside the favor of MIBR, playing defensively on the bomb side. Now, if we move to the next round, the score is currently 12-12, and this is what I like so much about Astralis. They kept bullying that B bomb side. Play out the clip, you can see this is very basic Counter-Strike. Have a look at the minimap, have a look at Glaive. This is all you need for a very, very simple strat. What Astralis does is they just brute force their way inside the B bomb site. 4 guys rushing in, Glaive with a Molotov, with a smoke, smoking heaven, and then instantly rotates in towards short, where he gets 2 kills coming in from connector. This is Astralis picking up the pace, simply brute forcing their way into the B bomb site, because as we just saw before, MIBR like to play that defensively. They didn't do this time around, and that's why Astralis was able to win that fight on the B bomb site time and time again. The CT side of MIBR needs to be worked on, and especially that B bomb site defense.
Well, Jacob's saying that CT side needs to be worked on here. Sean, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you agree with Jacob?
I think Astralis definitely just destroyed the B bomb site time and time again. They kept throwing a bridge smoke that baited the MIBR players into jumping on the ledge behind the bomb site box. And it looked like it was by design because Astralis was very, very aware of the gap in that smoke, and rarely did someone die because of it.
Well, maybe it was by design, and maybe we'll get some insight into that right now. We have the opportunity to hear from Zonic direct as we look into what will be the second map of the series. So let's go ahead and head down there and check it out with Frankie.
Zonic, what happened on Overpass?
It was a tough game, and I don't know, I spent 8 hours preparing for them, and then they picked Overpass, and this team doesn't have a record on Overpass. Maybe the formal lineup had, but then the meta has changed, so it was very difficult, and we had to rely on our own game, but in the end it worked, but we couldn't get the economy rolling as CT, and they played really well.
Can we talk about your T side though? What was the obsession with the B side in the first half of that?
I think we tend to overthink it a little bit, because if we push B, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, then we take a timeout, then we expect them to expect us to go towards A. But we are a stubborn team, and we also got some knowledge on how they were playing the B bomb side by going there a couple of times. So then we got some read over about that.
I have to say there were a few uncharacteristic mistakes, though, like that last minute rotate to the A site as well. Do you think the boys are feeling a bit too much pressure at the moment?
No, I think it was they knew, because there was a guy coming from behind, so they knew that we were going. They were going B, so we expected the rest of the team to be at the B bomb side. But then when we started rotating, they have a shorter way to the A bomb side. So, and then the time wasn't on our side, so that was probably not the best call. But I understood it when it was called. So yeah.
Well, listen up, Sonic. You've got Inferno next, and you've got a blooming good record on it. So what's the plan?
Well, we hopefully we can get that banana control both as T and CC side. So yeah, we have a pretty good idea of how they are playing. So now we just need to calm down a bit and then reset, because people are a bit emotional right now, including myself. So now we just need to spend the next couple of minutes just relaxing a bit and getting on Ursk.
Well, Zonic, thank you so much. I'll let you reset. Appreciate your time. I can't wait to see the Battle of Banana on the next map.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have here, Frankie. And, you know, we talk about Inferno, and we can talk about the swagger that Astralis is about to carry over into it. You've got to think that after that matchup there on Overpass, they're going to have some momentum and say, you know what, we've got this ballpark.
It definitely will, and Inferno is a home map of Astralis.
Yeah.
They are going to be starting on the T side, though, so that is something that MIBR has going in their favor, right? Because, I mean, gosh, Astralis' banana control with Glaive and Zipix, rotating device around to get set up with the AWP, it's almost unbeatable.
I mean, Astralis have won 11 out of 11 Inferno matches the past 3 months, so it's definitely not looking too good for MIBR. That said, though, we have seen them play Inferno in this tournament 3 times. Yes. I do remember a 16-3 loss against Cloud9. That wasn't too pretty, but apart from that, it's actually been looking okay from MIBR, but not to the level that you can fight Astralis.
Yeah, and we just keep reflecting back to that 16-3 because it's basically the only glimpse we've gotten within this major itself. Inferno being that second map, guys, does it end here?
I have a hard time thinking Astralis is going to lose this map unless Fallen goes absolutely bonkers.
I would say there's a bigger chance that ENCE wins the grand final tomorrow than MIBR winning now.
Well, now that is a claim right there. Either way, we will be loading into Inferno for the second map of the semifinal. It's going to be MIBR versus Astralis. And the real question here on that path to the final is, who will be the first 3-time major champion? Will it be Device or coldzera? We're still a little ways away, but for what it's worth, it's going to be Inferno with Vince and Jason.
Well, if MIBR want a shot at it, they have to win here. Down 0-1. Astralis just tears Overpass away from them down the stretch, and now on Inferno. Astralis are very dominant on this map.
They sure are. That's why coming into this, we felt that MIBR really needed to pick up that first map to have a solid chance. But who knows, we're in the semi-finals of the major, an IEM event, so much history behind it. History to be forged by one of these two teams. And the early aggression up Banana may yield some kills, but Zipex, he definitely heard the footsteps, he definitely can hear. Phelps around the corner, but Dupree's gonna take the kill away from him. The result is the same though, and Astralis will pick up the first blood.
What a risky play to make in the pistol round of this map. That is intense. Taco is alone at A, and he's already been tagged down to 15. That's going to force Fallen to bust up the stack at B and rotate over. Astralis already in round 1, just manipulating the map in their favor. Taco's going to switch positions. He's going to go over towards the B bomb site. They want 3 players there. They believe this is going to be the final destination for Astralis in this round, and looks like they're correct.
Flash lined up for the CT side. Taco hasn't been affected by it. Nearly blocks the smoke, but it's still going to plume in his face, so he can't really hold on from CT any longer. There are 3 players, though, at the back of the B side, one of which has been found and alleviated away. And Coldzera can hold the line with 2. If he flicked to that third, the crowd would have lost their minds. It's still a 2-on-3, though, and Fallen's dropped the bomb. Astralis now, they're in trouble. Taco in a really solid position. So important that Dupree plants up on the coffins. If he's shown anything, he would have been fragged, and it's going to be going down anyway to the hands of Taco from the backside. Now Fallen, it's all that remains. The Mage just finds the headshot. It was such a strange back and forth round, but Astralis just about hold on.
Fallen had to have just never suspected that Magisk was going to slide out like that and be aggressive. He catches him completely off guard. An otherwise beautiful round from MIBR, just clinging, just holding on for what they can. This was a great sequence. I'm not sure why Glaive bailed out of the bomb site with the bomb later on, but that almost ruined everything. They got punished by that on overpass by a very curious late round decision. They almost do one here in the pistol, but either way, they do get the win. That's all that matters. MIBR going to buy up into this. Astralis won both pistols on overpass. They have the first pistol here on Inferno.
What can they deal with it, though? MIBR with a healthy dosage of weaponry early on. And grenades, 4 smokes. They can bide their time for quite a while. It's going to be based on calls, though. Fallen up close with the scout. But it's going to be B that's getting pressured from 3 of Astralis' players.
This is a really tough hit for Fallen to hit if he has to flick over towards Boiler as he peers towards mid. Takes a more shallow angle, and this is just Astralis trying to make sure that all the utility, all the smokes are taken before they eventually do attack. And now grouping up towards mid. Flashbang, Fallen's got to fall away. And there's not a whole lot of players here to really mount a defense on this bomb site. It's 1 player, Taco, guarding halls and lane, and then Fallen guarding rap side against 5. They must do it all.
It's labored by Zipex, but fortunately it wasn't enough firepower to deal with him. And the site is being crushed. The collapse onto A is successful. MIBR want to hold on to these guns, so Astralis will take the second round. Just being careful, ensure that no other CTs lurking around the outskirts of the site. Now they've realized that's not the case. They're already sending players over towards the other side of the map now. Dupree, he wants blood. He wants to take some of these guns away. Needs to be careful what he wishes for. He's about to walk into Phelps with a CZ, but it's only a MAC-10.
Yeah, Device wants nothing to do with this. He sees that peek from the bomb site. There's no reason for him to move forward. Let him have whatever they keep. 2-0 for Astralis. Actually, the rest of them are coming in now. There's the flashbang. Fur isolated alone at first oranges. They've got to swing from the other angle. It's not going to happen just yet. And actually now, Astralis right at the end of this bomb timer might just take so much away. Phelps with a MAC-10 kill, and he disappears into the smoke. And that is going to be it. So 2 kills, 2 salvaged weapons for MIBR. They're not going to be unhappy with that. They'll be able to pass a pistol over or one of the MAC-10s. Or the 1 MAC-10 in the UMP. So a little bit of danger still. A little bit of something to fight with for MIBR. There's that crowd. There's that Brazilian corner. Portuguese corner.
Very supportive corner, it is 2. Additionally, Phelps did get a kill with a MAC-10. So his money was up to 3,100. So you can actually afford a smoke and a HE. HE's just gone out, not going to yield anything in return.
When the guns come out, MIBR is going to have to find a way to fight for some of this map control. You cannot, on this map, just let Astralis have whatever they want. They are so very good at moving across the map and aggressively taking portions of it. So you're going to want that op and fall, and you're going to want them to be able to control Banana. That's a good dink through the edge of the wall. So dupreeh, actually, it's pretty superficial, but coldzera finished him off from behind. Now an AK-47 in Fallen's hands, and he might have to get aggressive to try and make a play to try and win this. coldzera's going to swing out for bolt, but the UMP can't do it. Fallen takes too long for that kill. Glaive with a solid trade. And now MIBR just has to cross their fingers and hope that Astralis comes to the B bomb site. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it stands to reason if you have 2 or 3 players pushing down mid, it's unlikely you've got the rest of them playing passively on A. So they made the correct call. They're going to make a move over onto the A side, get the free plant, and a 3-0 lead. However, keep in mind the overpass went the same way. Astralis started off with a 4-0 lead, and it started to crumble around them. MIBR, once that rifle round comes into play, that's where the game truly starts. It's not a huge amount to save here, honestly. They don't have Kevlar behind either Fur or Taco.
The best thing they can hope, I mean, Fur might just save that UMP. You can use that weapon in a gun run. The MAC-10, not so much, so I think Taco's just going to get in position, maybe get lucky and grab an AK-47 off Glaive. He's obviously very aware of this possibility. And with the HP and armor, he can just survive in pit with the rest of his teammates. So Taco may try and hunt that down right at the end, but Glaive is just too smart for it.
Yep, had 2 teammates watching the site. No reason to have 3 sets of eyes over there. They're all healthy enough to save. Dosia is not on the map. There is no HE flying their way into pit.
No need to worry. Dosia is not here. They're all fine.
Crisis averted.
So 3-0, first gun round coming in. Fur does keep that UMP in his hands. And AUGs surround it. There's no AWP on the board. Actually, excuse me, Fur drops it right at the last second. So they have 1 kit on coldzera. If they need a retake, he must be involved. MIBR's first chance to get into Inferno. And they must have this map. Taco and coldzera playing at the A bomb site. 3 players at top Banana to control on the defensive side. And Astralis, I think this round playing it passively, maybe just seeing what kind of utility is going to be thrown out for the Brazilians, taking notes for the future. And they're already up mid. They go through their own smokes, and actually this is an attack. It's only coldzera and Taco here. Taco's blocked off by the smoke. coldzera has to do something. Glaive with the peek. Now, great trades. And MIBR just cannot stem the tide. Shock and awe from Astralis and MIBR. I don't even know if they can go for this. Certainly not now that Fur falls. The damage is so low. Now they have a chance. Now they're close enough. dupreeh and Xyp9x. What can you do with such low HP?
Solid smoke and flash, though, is going to keep Phelps in position.
Oh my God.
So fortunate to get away with that. In the smoke, dupreeh is going through all of his 9 lives and still lands a kill. That is unreal. Xyp9x on the approach catches Phelps with a grenade out, and Astralis are going to get the 4-0. But the luck on dupreeh surviving there. If he goes down, it's a 2-on retake. It's so unlikely that Xyp9x takes both plays in a single spray.
Yeah, especially with low HP. And look at coldzera's position. He was the one with the kit, so he does fall. That kit is up on the balcony from his body. Even if that retake happens, even if Phelps is able to find Xyp9x, the time would start becoming a factor in that one-on-one duel. Astralis pull off the unexpected, while MIBR has 3 players spending time controlling Banana and Car. Astralis win the round elsewhere.
Fallen, okay.
There's a low percentage fight, if I've ever seen one. Fur. Close up with the deagle, but there's 3 players to contend with. There's the utility, there's the flashbang, but Magisk wasn't blind. It was behind him. And Astralis going to march forward to what looks to be another round, a 5th round.
Phelps able to at least silence Device, but he's going to catch a face full of shrapnel in return. coldzera may be able to get the 1D. Xyp9x is not going to miss out. And Taco will at least make his Desert Eagle stand for something. It won't stand for a round win, though. dupreeh's tracking him down, finds him, frags him, 5-0.
Well, 5-0. We're gonna get a bit of a pause right at the start of this round. But Astralis looking very clean, very clinical. They look like they want to go straight into the grand finals. MIBR on this side of the map as well. Normally expected to put up the bigger numbers on your defensive side, and they need to get into the action quick because this is going to slip away very quickly if Astralis is just able to continue this tear. So much money being built up by the Danish side as well.
It's of course the same map that MIBR really struggled against on Cloud9 back at the start, but that was in the T-half. The CT side had moments of glimmers. It was that T-half that really let them down, so that's what's worrying me at this stage.
Yeah, the problem too is you need more than glimmers, right? You need something that you can really rely on, and even if you go back to Overpass, the CT side there, they couldn't get a hold of their defense on that map either, their selection. So some troubles on the defense. Just so you know as well some of the obstacles in the uphill battle that MIBR have. Astralis at the moment are on a 13-0 win streak on this map.
They have quite a few records, Jason.
Yeah, they really are starting to pile on.
Nuke, of course, is another one.
That's a streak that might never be broken on any map.
I believe we are in a technical timeout for the time being. Can tell you that MIBR, of course, have a full purchase. Will not include an AWP, only the one kit, but 4 AUGs and an M4. So plenty of firepower and grenades behind that.
Yeah, they're going to be situated nicely when this game resumes to at least fight. They still haven't been able to get the AWP out. I think that might be the big thing that they can rely on, because you can put Fallen, if you can post him up at car, cheat a player over towards that A bomb site, and then you can start making a mobile across the map, giving them looks with the AWP at A. Renegades knocked out by MIBR in the quarterfinals. NIP knocked out by Astralis as the path to get here to this moment. And the winner playing ENCE, a surprising story. I'm amazed at how much this Katowice crowd has gotten behind ENCE as these underdogs that have just marched through this event.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever wins this game is going to be certainly not the favorites in the crowd. I think ENCE will still have that crown.
Well, we are going to get things underway, and I just want to know, I was surprised at the start. Who here is rooting for Astralis? Do we have any MIBR fans still with us? All right, not bad. A little leaning towards Astralis, and they have that 5-0 lead. Going into round 6, Fer gonna get aggressive, and that is scary. No one offered up to him at the moment. More banana control coming out. Smokes and Molotovs being traded by each team. AG's coming deep in. Pretty decent chip on a Magus, but he's not gonna shy away. He's been aggressive. He's been stellar in this series. And this is wild. MIBR used all their utility to the B defenders, and now they're rotating them off of that bomb site, trading positions with Fer and Fallen. That left the B bomb site very exposed. Obviously, not too often you'll see an offensive team kind of take a super fast stance on that, but that's a risk. That could have been just a free round if Astralis just moved forward.
Yeah, especially after a bit of a lull in the action after a timeout. Some teams will go for high progression, so it was looking a little bit shaky, but now normal service has resumed.
Well, now at least, I mean, that it pays off for MIBR. The B defenders have, more smokes. Fallen has a Molotov, so they have a couple things that can delay any kind of late round set piece. There's no idea. Phelps has no idea. He sees the gun barrel, though. Glaive is have to get out of that position. But Phelps was in a moment of danger there.
This is where Astralis can be a little bit more free. They have such a buffer of rounds. MIBR are going to feel the pressure of every single duel, every single frag that goes against them. What a shot by Phelps. Headshot into chest.
He didn't spot this, though. It's Fallen who's going to have to keep his eye out for it, which means Fer is going to be exposed. That Molotov and smoke on Fallen has been used. That's a big kill. Fer's got a Molotov himself. There's a counter flash, but he's got gun out for. He's going to hold on. MIBR might be getting their first round, but Device and Sipnik still alive. But there's only 8 seconds. They're going to have to back away from this. Try and get the bomb planted. I don't know if there's time. There's the kill, and the boost up is going to stop things. Device needs to get the hell out, but they're going to chase him. They don't have a lot of money, but they want to bait out a shot. It doesn't come, so Phelps backs away. MIBR on the board finally on Inferno.
A lot of excellent angles working out for the Brazilians. And Phelps with that spicy shot from Library.
Yeah, that was pretty dirty. I'm surprised. I think he was even surprised he hit that first bullet.
Unfortunate too, because if he doesn't land that, 2 players are through a notch, maybe Fallen can't spray them both. Here's the shot. That is absolutely nutty. Apex Court just trying to force the bomb down.
Yeah, only thing he could have done at that moment. Magic's now. Edge of the Flames. Steps in front of the AG, but Device eats it instead. That was a deep grenade. That money that Astralis is building up has been whittled down. And same thing again for MIBR. The initial defenders of the B bomb site being traded off. Fur and Fallen step into their place with the smoke Molotov combo. Trying to confuse the communication, confuse the read of Astralis. They'll be calling out as that B hit goes on. 1 Molotov, 1 smoke is used. Just so Glaive has an idea for the late rounds, but this swap of defenders could really skew that read.
Close angle again for Phelps. It's going to be a same result, but only twice as effective. Glaive and Dupree laid to rest. Excellent passage of play for MIBR. And with Device so low on his AWP, they can't afford to take any chances here, Astralis. They're going to have to be pushing forward. And there's a smoke to deny them.
That'll take us to just below 20 seconds left in the round. And do they really want to try and break into this bomb site? I think the answer is no. You can see them backing off. So there's that rotational strategy out of MIBR coming to fruition. It's going to net them their 2nd round, 2 in a row for MIBR. As Astralis don't want to fight. Not a whole lot of money as well, but with 3 weapons saved, Dupree and Glaive can get deagles, they can get CZs, they can have plenty of utility as they get the bonus money and their teammates do not. So you can still make something happen, and as we saw in an overpass, Astralis wins in a variety of ways.
That early rotation as well really could screw with Astralis' mind going through into the mid to latter portions of the round. When you're expecting those rotations to come in, they could just walk into crossfires expecting players to have gaps in this defense.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to be really intrigued to see how this plays out for the rest of this half. Because I think the end result of this eventually has to be maybe not doing that shift 1 round. And then all of a sudden Astralis trying to take advantage over towards A because they're saying, okay, if you're going to rotate them off, A is going to be weak late with no utility. And then all of a sudden you have those Molotovs in your face. We'll see, but there's at least an intriguing element of this game so far. Xyp9x did not want to fight in the Molotov.
Slower pace in this round as a result of the nade damage, I'm sure, in round 7. This does leave Fur on his own. It's going to be more of an 8-sided stack with Fallen over here. What a confidence shown to Fur. Now they're going to start to make a move with a sweeper roll of Fallen. And back to your standard 3-2 formation, but it's coldzera that's just been winged down to 15 health. I believe that was from Device and his AWP.
Yeah, I mean, coldzera takes the shot and just ignores it. Tries to go find more kills. Fallen still hasn't moved. Fallen and Fur now going to get aggressive towards B, and I think Device just saw... He saw his prey. That's Phelps. He cannot take a whole lot of steps. He is so restricted, and if he's not aware, that flashbang forces him back into the waiting arms. Device called it out, and now pressure on the 8-bomb side. coldzera and Taco to defend. They're the only 2, and they must do it, but Taco is burning out into the open. coldzera's already low. Fallen not able to get back in time, and nothing to be done. Device finishes him off from earlier, and Device opens up the 8-bomb site.
We're heading into a save. Astralis successfully stopped the 2-round streak of MIBR. An emphatic style as well, just straight out flashbang into execution.
And I mean, it's so magnificent to see because you don't need to have some super fancy set piece or strategy. It's just Device getting an angle. Bit of BM from Magisk. You do absolutely love to see it. But it's just simplicity. Device gets that angle towards small pit. Yeah, he spotted 1 out, but just 1 flashbang towards wrap side that Phelps eats causes him to just back away the smallest amount. and Device is able to punish.
It's a great call as well for the flashbang to force the first player out into the open. And Device will oblige with another couple afterwards. As a result of MIBR's save, though, they're going to have a very healthy investment. After this round, not so much, though. Falling down to $0. First, not much ahead of him at 200. At least we're seeing signs now of MIBR's CT side. Now we're seeing them land some shots.
It might be too late for just signs, though. Already down 6-2. If they get reset here, it might be all over before it really begins. There's the pop flash Fallen, just has to take a blind shot and back away. Mid control was almost there. Smoke goes up just at the right moment. But again, MIBR is able to, Astralis is able to gain control of Banana. We haven't really seen MIBR fight for it. We've seen those nades down, we've seen the Molotovs along the way, but we haven't seen any defense around the car, around the sandbags.
Yeah, I think the only round we saw was when Fallen had the MP9 and just charged out the Molotov into a firing squad. That's pretty much it. As you see, can't really counteractive grenades into control, as you say, which just gives up so much room for Astralis. It just chokes MIBR. They can't really fully get freed up.
It's a long time for MIBR to play without information, without map control. They might get caught out in the open, but it's Fur who comes out on top of that one. Gonna stay towards CT spawn. Here's that set piece. Smokes, Molotovs coming in. A perfect counter smoke. Phelps, he's got to hold the line.
So far, so good. 35 seconds. Flame or bullets. He decides to press forward. Actually jumps over the AWP shot somehow. He stalled for a very long time. 25 seconds remain. And Astralis, they're dipping out. They're going towards the A side. There's been no maneuverability at all. No movement. No sound over on B. MIBR, no. They've already trickled 2 players over, and Taco, he's whiffed that opportunity. Caldera's got down as well. Taco should be doing better.
Can he get in? Device, it's gonna be so close. I don't know if he can get this. He does, right at the last moment. Device is gonna be able to get this bomb planted. And a narrow one slips out of the grasp of MIBR. Now they must fight. They have no money left. They have to have this round.
They made the right call there, Moses, but the execution was just off. They could still salvage this round. With the kit, firepower is plentiful. But there's so many positions, so many close angles you have to watch out for. Fur is waiting. He wants Fallen to go and scout out first, but time is so scarce. They've got to move in right here, right now. If they're going to go for this defuse, it has to come in, and it's just going to backfire. Dupree with 2. Astralis moved to a 7-2 lead. And again, you go back to that spray on mid. That could have been the round ender.
Yeah, I think Taco was expecting a flashbang. You saw him look into the wall right before they turned that corner. This is so big. If the wrong kill, even that, Coldzera even gets the bomb planter. That's just a half second away from being planted. I'm not sure what this retake was. So deep into the bomb timer, and they didn't have a clue where anyone was at that point. You did have to go for it, but MIBR did not apply enough pressure early on to at least get a sense of where the post-plant positions were. And I think this might be the crack starting to show at MIBR. Such an experienced team and not going to go down without a fight, but I think they've given Astralis too many chances to build up a big lead.
Yeah, it did seem like death by indecision at the end. We've done better to just hold on to the guns and have something to play with on this one, but that's all in the past. In the here and now, MIBR truly up against it. Smoke and flash onto CT side. This is going to put Fur all alone, living in solitude. And now there's going to be 3 players around. They have a triple threat established from MIBR. The downside is it's just USPs. They do have a scout for Coldzera, trying his hand through the smoke, but nothing's connecting. Headshot into frag from Fur, but Coldzera with the scouts gone down. And Taco, the only player with an upgraded pistol, is in mid, and he's been found by Zipex. Could have no impact in the round at all.
There's only one last thing MIBR can really try and pull out of this defense, and unfortunately they just have never had the money for it. We still haven't seen an AWP out on Fallen. We know they like to play this map with a double AWP on Coldzera, and just no funds to make that happen. This has gone from bad to worse for MIBR, and we might want to see a timeout coming from their camp. Not going to get it this round.
somewhat surprising. They've got plenty to use.
I said they're going to fight to the end, Vince, but it feels like they're just not fighting in the right spots. You have to restrict the amount of map that you're giving Astralis. This smoke isn't going to do enough. As soon as this fades, if you're not there to battle or at least delay, it makes things so difficult. Astralis has been able to march up and execute on the B bomb site whenever they've wanted it. They've been able to march up and get bracket control whenever they've wanted it. They're going to have it again. Great counter flash, great peek from Fur, but immediately traded.
The bomb's still dropped back at T-Spawn. Astralis, they can't fully commit to anything at this stage. And with coldzera getting that kill, it's maybe going to be looking for a second, but Dupree's too fast on the trigger.
Nicely done from Fallen. That leaves Xyp9x in a 1 versus 2. And as you said, the bomb's so far away. Can he somehow pull this off? Phelps is convinced that Xyp9x is going to come from the A bomb site. He's not even looking towards lane, not even looking towards mid whatsoever. A big risk being taken. I'm not sure why Phelps might think he's in library or CT spawn, but he's very fortunate that Xyp9x has taken the path that he has.
Of course, on the other hand, MIBR have no idea the bomb is back there. They haven't seen vision of it yet.
No, but the tough part is because Phelps is so convinced, Fallen was actually being pulled away. I don't know if Xyp9x can actually win this round. Now he spotted Fallen. Now they realize their mistake. He has the bomb. There's only 12 seconds. He must go to A. And there's no time for any of this. And at this point, you might as well just bail out and save the weapon. And he's going to find safety in the halls. So MIBR are going to win a round, but it's not pretty, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Absolutely will. A mistake from Astralis is going to cost them dearly. If Xyp9x had control of the bomb, can start to play mind games. As we know, he is so good at pulling off. But 3 to 8, life yet perhaps for MIBR. Taco's going to drop down to an MP9, affords him more grenades, but again, a distinct lack of AWP. Fallen just hasn't been able to get his hands on one. Their economy's never been in good enough shape. Now we're starting to see a bit more banana present from MIBR. He's putting 2 players down there towards sandbags. Ooh. Significant nade damage to Glaive and Device. They're going to back away. So for the first time, MIBR actually are going to establish some control over on this side of the map.
Device looking for it. Still focused, still aware of the possibility. Fallen crouching all the way back, and he's going to get away safely. Shoot a little bit of time off the clock, but didn't force any losses onto the Astralis side. A minute still remaining in the round. The Astralis have control of Banana, they have control of brackets, and they have got plenty of nades. 4 smokes, a plethora of flashes, even a Molotov on Xyp9x. What's the call here? Might fall into a mid to B split with all this room that they have. Glaive gonna put out a smoke, see what the response is. No one has eyes on this from MIBR. 35 seconds left now.
Trying to draw what remains of MIBR's nade count into play. Now, the set play is in motion. Solid Molotov's gonna force a smoke out. This does skew a bit of the vision across from Astralis though. They're going in blind, but now their eyes have cleared. Taco from the shadows with an MP9 spray, and coldzera are turning this round on its head. coldzera cleans it up. And MIBR will pick up a 4th round and a 2nd in a row.
Nice crossfire setup. Taco just hiding until the action begins. Peeks up at the right moment. And finally, I think MIBR, they've actually accomplished it. I think they're going to force Astralis onto a save, or a half buy at the very least. Nicely done from Taco. Even better spray control and spray transfer from coldzera. So MIBR still in this. They have upgraded pistols to go against, not a lot of nades.
Well, that flashbang's absolutely spot on though. coldzera fully blinded. Didn't have anyone there to help him out. The CZ's not going to double up. But Phelps has been dropped to 40. This is more pressure than you'd expect from such a low investment. Starting to look a lot more bright, though, for MIBR now that some of the kills have been put down.
That was a huge kill from Phelps towards the B bomb site to really stop Device. If he goes down, Astralis just runs all the way back to B. There's a small crack in that smoke. Fur's got to be careful. He's actually come out on top of that. Spotted Zipnix first, gets the damage in with the rifle, falls away. Molotov might take out Zipnix, but nope, doesn't spread in time. Fur's going to get aggressive behind it, finds and finishes that kill. And Dupree knows there's no point in going back for the bomb. The chances of him getting into a site and having a chance to plant is slim to none. Fur shuts him down. 3 kills for the aggressive Brazilian rifler.
Yeah, and speaking of aggression, I do wonder at this stage if MIBR are going to try and put more assertiveness on Banana, or particularly Apps. We haven't really seen them push Apps either. There's been a couple of rounds with pistols, but not with rifles.
Yeah, it might be, yeah, true. They've had so much success elsewhere, maybe just haven't felt the need to really experiment with it. 8-5, but MIBR coming back in this. 3 in a row, trying to close out this half. They would love to get to 7. And here we go. Oh, look at this call. Trying to suffocate, flashbang over the wall. Glaive not prepared, Device not prepared, and Phelps only gets 1, but the response is magnificent. And now they can wrap behind. Dupree is gonna check this, and he's gonna do it with impunity. Coldzera trying to hold on as long as possible. But again, the whole map, and now look at Zipnix just taking liberties. He's in pit, and Taco's stuck out in the open.
Smoke's not going to buy him up anytime either. Taco decides to press forward, especially when you're a player behind. You've got to take risks, you've got to take gambles, but Mages finds him, pins him down, leaving Coldzera with it all to do alone. 1 on 3, heads taken off. Astralis walk to a 9-5 lead.
The communication of Astralis has to just be so good that they're able to know exactly how to maneuver in those scenarios. Unfortunate for Taco, he thinks Zipnix is all on his own, just trying to hold on to pit. Magis coming up lane, just wrecks him. So now MBR fights for 6. And the first time, I believe, that Fallen has been able to have the AWP, it's going to come out in this round. It's going to come out in round 15. It just feels too late. We'll see what it can do. It has to have impact immediately.
I'm curious to see what he's going to do with it. Is he going to go for a fast play up Banana? Looks like it. There's a HE and a flashbang just beforehand, but Device is a step ahead. MIBR would be wise to hold back. Furs by his lonesome MP9 in hand. Not quite close enough to retrieve the AK. So he may have to stand his ground and fight until the bitter end. He still so much wants it, and he's going to get the reward. Does lose more than 50% of his health, but a pick and an AK, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's those long arms, finally gets the reach. Man advantage for MIBR, but running out of nades. Astralis just so efficient with their own utility at taking Banana that they always have so much to play with no matter where they go in the late round. And here we go, another set piece. Fallen. He has got a big decision to make. When those smokes come in, does he step in front or does he play for retake? Flashed off the angle. There's the smoke as they turn the corner. The boost has to be effective. Fur spots 1. Magis didn't check it. He gets it falling down. He gets it with the follow-up. And now they're going to survive for the retake. A 5 on 3.
You have the answer to your question as well, Moses. He's going to play for the retake, especially with a 2-player. Making a 3-player advantage. Looking good. Bomb still hasn't been planted, but will be in a few moments. Dupree sees bullets whiz past his head. Device slots 1 between the eyes of Fur. Dupree and Device have to hold the line. Last round of the half, so much on. MIBR desperately require this, you have to feel, if they're going to go into this second half. All guns blazing. Flashbangs on point, but so's the headshots. Device is going to fight 1. So much damage done to Coldzera, but there's Phelps. Orc in hand. Silences Dupree, and MIBR, it's going to be very close, but they've got the defuse.
Yeah, they've got it. It's going to be 6 rounds for MIBR. They had to fight tooth and nail to get to this point, but they've gave themselves a fighting chance. 4 of the last 5. The second half is going to be no easier. Astralis looking strong here in the semifinals of IEM Katowice, and we'll find out if they're going to close it out when we return.
is what you were born for. Put your faith in the Reich.
They have to be stopped.
The Reich is the future, Juliana.
We need to wake people up fast.
Just give me something I can fight for.
The fascists can be beaten. It's in our hands. We can end it. I know we can.
This is what you were born for. Put your faith in the Reich.
They have to be stopped.
The Reich is the future, Juliana.
We need to wake people up fast.
Just give me something I can fight for.
The fascists can be beaten. It's in our hands. We can end it. I know we can.
This is now. This is how. Don't let your head bow. We'll always make it somehow. When my world was smaller, my thoughts raced higher. I was a dreamer, dying to be their fever, dying to be their fever.
Seven rounds is all Astralis needs to make it to their third major grand final here in Katowice. Just 7 rounds away for brushing aside the danger of this Brazilian roster, which has built speed and momentum in this event so far, but it might just get stopped here. A really rough first half, and they must dig deep. This has to be a masterclass of a T-side for MIBR.
They have ran into the juggernaut of Astralis, Dupree. Can count himself lucky. He's been dodging quite a few bullets here on Inferno. But no early casualty of war on either side. Some ground is being gained, though, by Furt. Not going to get peeked by Dupree. Happy to just stay on the balcony for the time being. Posturing back and forth. There's a lot of utility. Flashes, smokes, a couple of Molotovs. Taco, though, going to get drilled on the approach and finished off. The Molotov did go onto Graveyard, and Phelps is going to get one. Dupree, was that a jumping shot from Fallen? Are you serious? He certainly is. He's picked up a second. Going to be baiting out, trying to draw a player into the open. Surely he's not going to get Glaive as well. He spots Glaive, lands the headshot, and now Fallen has a fast track to the B site, but Zipex, this is where his experience, this is where his decision-making is going to be fully tested. 2 huge brains of Counter-Strike going to duke it out to the bitter end. This would be an unbelievable clutch if Fallen pulled this out of the hat. He's done a bit of damage to Zipex. Both positions now known. Zipex has a kit and a smoke, close range. Going to be determining who takes this one away for their team. It's so important for MIBR, but Fallen is going to get denied. And Astralis can take a second pistol and a 10th round. Such a heroic attempt, though, from Fallen.
God bless. How do you beat Zipnix? What an absolute freak of a clutch human being. 10-6. Fallen did everything he possibly could. Those were some incredible shots to get into that situation. I feel like even pro players have to just hit tab and you see you're up against Xyp9x and you just cry a little bit inside.
That internal scream. Even a player of fallen stature. Superb attempt, but just falling on the final hurdle.
Well, a hero buy comes out for MIBR. They passed the AK-47. Fallen able to afford that due to his kills and the help of the plant. Fur had the hot hand on overpass. He's going to take Boiler, peering towards lane. It's dupreeh who would be first up, but Magisk is there as well with an angle if he needs to swing out wide. Can support in response. MIBR has to let this AK-47 do the work. They have no nades. They were reliant upon it. And look at that. Glaive and Xyp9x just baiting Phelps into an awkward situation. Fur still hasn't made his move. They're waiting for the smoke to clear on Rap side. There goes Phelps through the smoke. Taco is hoping for someone to force Device into his crosshairs. Fur still hasn't made a move. 45 seconds left. They must start going forward. And Fur's going to be the point man leading up Rap side, waiting for the repeak. It would be huge. dupreeh holding the angle. There he goes. dupreeh now going to get aggressive. Coldzera's going to go down, and Taco, he gets a kill, but there's nothing for him to build upon. Astralis now at 11, just 5 rounds away from the grand finals, where ENT, the Finnish Phenoms, await them.
Caused many an upset, but so far Astralis, they're digging deep and they're getting wins. However, MIBR are going to have a bye. Plenty of smokes to play with. Already seeing that the intent from Astralis is a lot more aggressive when it comes to Banana. But now they're against full rifles. Are they going to respect that a little bit more? That's a brilliant pick to start things off. Device caught with a grenade out. Early doors favoring MIBR, but Mages, the lifeblood of Astralis, is able to shun away one player. He will lose his life in the process, and MIBR still in great shape here in round 18. They've got to convert this, though.
They really do. It's going to be tough. Xyp9x is smoked off over towards car. He's going to love that. Look at Glaive getting aggressive. Just enough damage. Chips away, lets the fire finish his work. And dupreeh is now lying in wait. How does MIBR handle this situation? They have utility. They've got a minute to play with. dupreeh is awaiting contact. It'll be Xyp9x, though, who receives it first. Now rotated towards CT spawn. He can't get away from that fight. He can't get away from the headshot. And that's going to open up. MIBR says, you're the B defender. We just picked you off in CT spawn. You're rotating over to help, so we're just going to take your bomb site for free. dupreeh does nothing to do, and it's going to be a 7th. MIBR are doing like a cliffhanger impression in this map, it feels. Great shot from Phelps. Astralis right on the verge of being able to buy it. If you have any indication of how they've handled their economy in previous games in this tournament so far, it'll be a very small investment. Upgrade to pistols, some utility. But with a lead of this stature, it's not anything too powerful, but with this lead of 4 rounds, they're going to be patient and wait till the guns and the nades are in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't force up and put your economy down the drain. Allow MIBR to get very close, breathe down your necks. So certainly the correct decision. Playing it for the longer haul rather than the here and now. dupreeh still with the Desert Eagle, though, could do some damage. And he could see action momentarily. There's one, able to duck away. Not able to retrieve the gun. Making sure they cannot pick that up, so Taco is going to take it away into mid. Meanwhile, they're applying pressure over on the B side of the map.
They're going to get re-aggressive in these halls. Taco's got to be careful. He's all alone. Meanwhile, Fallen and Phelps going to start pressuring and peeking in towards this B bomb site. Great shot from Fallen. That might prompt a response that Taco can take advantage of, but actually he does. dupreeh goes out. He had the first shot, but Taco responds perfectly. Magisk has found the AK-47 on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Astralis is holding off this B hit. Phelps not able to contend with Xyp9x, and Magisk the snake in the grass. If he turns this around, he is a goddamn champion. We'll see if he can do it, but they have him trapped. They know what's coming, Astralis. This is a chance.
Oh no, MIBR, they've lost Taco. That's information gathered. They're pincered, they're sandwiched between two very dangerous Danish lines. 15 seconds coming up on the timer. They're going to be jumping up on the boost. They've stopped the bomb from being planted.
Oh God.
Fallen's going to have to try his hand at the plant now. But in doing so, Zipex rushes to his demise. Magisk is here. 4 seconds left. This is going to be the round to Astralis. How has this happened?
No other team can do that. No other team has the trust in their teammates. A USP, MIBR needs to find some courage because they got held off. They got delayed so long with AK-47s facing up against one USP and a second that rotates over late. I cannot believe that Astralis is able to stall them out in that fashion. And it's just so smart. Fighting during a retreat, just letting Magisk get closer and closer to have his impact, and MIBR fails to protect the plant from a boost. A series of mistakes for MIBR, and that was a chance for them to build so much momentum.
Yeah, it's especially devastating. That was their fast track back into Inferno. And it's just been completely derailed now. They're into a force.
That's a worrying sign that they played that round so scared.
Was that the round that sent the Brazilians sprawling out of the major and Astralis into the grand finals? Certainly a gut punch. Can MIBR recover? Phelps did spot a player, but doesn't want to spray through the smoke, especially when he's one of the only 2 players with an assault rifle in his hands.
Well, there they are, desperately trying to get their team involved. MIBR backs against the wall, certainly now. AK-47 on Coldzera, AUG on Phelps, those are the rifles. The plan here, send bodies out of A-halls, try and take this over. They're gonna wait for the Molotov. Taco's all clear to throw his out. There's the smoke. Flashbang maybe hoping that that pit player would be forced out by the flames into the arms of the blind. Flashbang, but it's not going to work. Magisk has played this to perfection. He's got the bomb down. Even blind, he gets a kill. Even with no vision. Fallen with 1, but that's going to be it. Phelps is coming in late with the backstab, and he's got a 1-on-2.
Has plenty of health. That grenade didn't do any damage. Just the wrong side of the wall, I'm assuming. There is time though to pull this one off. He's seen that Magisk is on pit. Knows where the second player is. Now this quickly switches in his favor, but Magisk is going to be able to drill through his head. And surprise, surprise, this man in the right position at the right time once again.
He is so good. He plays that pit spot perhaps better than anyone else. And 13-7, that performance there from Magisk, including the clutch, obviously, gives Astralis the red carpet for the grand finals. It's laid out. All they must do now is walk across it. 13-7, MIBR have nothing to fight with. They have no money. Just 2 upgraded pistols with no utility.
Truly terrifying times for MIBR. Their T-half hasn't yielded much. Now Astralis gonna take the initiative, and Zipex through the smoke gets yet another kill. Didn't really expect much from this round. It was by and large Glocks with a Deagle. So far it's delivered nothing. Bit of damage to Glaze, but he's gonna be able to shrug that off. Showing the confidence. He actually pushes down where the gunfire was coming from. It's going to cost him his life, though. Coldzera is able to get 1. Zipex will shut him down before he can get close enough to do anything about it. And there we have it. Astralis 14-7. This is it. It's do or die time for MIBR.
what a massive run they've got to go on. They've got to close this gap, and they've got to do it efficiently, and they're going to start out with a hindered investment into nades, everything they possibly can bring forward. But Astralis is starting to get to that point where they can taste it. They're starting to get to that point where you can see how confident they are, the fights they take, the peaks they take, the positioning they utilize. Can MIBR stop this train from making it to the grand finals? Fast towards Banana. Fur's gonna lead the way on logs.
Bit of damage, of course. Oh my goodness, the damage, the grenades spray through the smoke.
It's the combination, right? It's the spray that forces someone in towards logs, the only piece of safety, and somehow Glaive still finds him in the smoke. So much damage. A kill and 19 HP on Fur. This is what MIBR never did to Astralis. Never made them work for this banana control. And Astralis is giving them a masterclass in return.
Astralis simultaneously flipping the kill switch, dulling all the senses for MIBR, but Taco regains his momentarily. Is at least going to pull it back to a 4-on-4. Plenty of time at their disposal. What they do with it is going to be a very interesting prospect, because so far Astralis have batted away everything that MIBR have thrown at them. Smoke planted down, Device waiting for a potential push. Narrowly off on the spray, they're all across the Archer's side. Now, neither of Astralis are over here, so the long-range skirmish could favor them, but of course, once again, the HE comes to their aid.
No, but MIBR is hesitating. This three-man pack went all the way to Rap side, never pushed up it, and then they come all the way back to lane when their teammate has fallen. They have no idea how to get into this bomb site. 15 seconds on the clock, and Magisk is going to be called upon one more time. This time he can't deliver the frags, but Device lies in wait. They don't check it. They don't check anything. That's the bomb down, that's the round over. Taco, he can't do anything, just some superficial kills at the end. And Astralis are gonna be on series point.
Able to hold on to his AK at least, but they didn't expect the double stack. They got Magisk, one if not the best pit player in the world. But it was all about Device. 2 huge kills, 8 match points to Astralis.
Ooh. The roller coaster of emotions on this big stage from Dupree. Well, it's time. Astralis generally does not wait around to close these games out, and Xyp9x gets him started again through the smoke. Why not? Fallen is shut down, and there's one more on top. Phelps tries his hand, and it's swatted aside as well. Astralis defense has been phenomenal. 6 of 7 rounds in this half. MIBR out of ideas, out of time.
It truly has been an impenetrable defense. Perfect utility, perfect timings, perfect calls. Across the board, Astralis have looked far superior. Glaive by himself, gonna have to hold the line. They're gonna go aggressive. Caldera will get the upper hand. Maybe there's life yet in this Brazilian squad.
They don't have a smoke, they're gonna have to fight for this cross. They just throw the bomb over to Caldera, who's gonna get that planted. MIBR staving off elimination, perhaps just a little bit longer. Now Astralis is rotating in. They're hurt on money. They might choose not to go for this. I think they're gonna see if they can find a kill.
I think it's all about this first confrontation. If it doesn't go their way, they pull the plug. If it does, they go in. Magisk also making a move up Banana. So they have the rotation in effect. They have the flank coming in. In a flurry, a frenzy. Taco is watching. Xyp9x being tagged from multiple angles, gets the first, Magisk with a second. It's all down to Fur. They know where he is. He's going to get caught. And Astralis will move through potentially. He's going to be very close, actually. But I think they have the defuse. A masterful melding of skill, determined, and composure. A real symphony of counter-strike from Astralis.
They withstood everything on Overpass. Inferno was a cakewalk. Astralis 16-7, 2-0. They move on to those grand finals. The undisputed kings of Counter-Strike are going to have a crack at another trophy. They're gonna have to get past ENCE to do it, but they've always shown they're up to the task.
Handshakes being exchanged, and in this moment, Astralis look to secure themselves another major championship here. It started out having to beat up on MIBR, and well, the first map could have went either way. Now it is all in stone. 16-7 the scoreline here on Inferno. MIBR the lesser, and they're going to have to try again another day. Denmark all united behind this Astralis team, and there's not a better time to do it, Jacob.
No, there definitely is not. Astralis once again showcasing why they are #1 team in the world right now. MIBR gave them a decent fight. I think we saw glimpses of potential, but in the end, there was no doubt that Astralis were the better team.
Yeah, it's very easy to just say, oh, we all expected Astralis to be in the finals. Oh, they're the best team in the world. They should be there. But this team did this all year last year, and for them to come into 2019 with that same desire, the same discipline, the same innovation, and wind up in the finals of the first major of the year is just a testament to how hardworking this team is.
It's one thing to be ahead of the curve, but it's another to set the curve yourself and then to continuously round it on your own, within your own devices, within your own sort of constructs. These guys continuously, time and time again, setting the bar in their own way, and that alone is a challenge.
And I mean, we often talk about how well they work together in the game, but let's talk a little bit outside of the game, right? The management of Astralis is constantly pushing these guys to perform at a very high level. They're skipping tournaments left and right to make sure that they're mentally able to always focus on the next task ahead, something other teams could learn from. Astralis is not only the best on the server, but definitely also outside of the server.
And we're not going to be skipping around very much longer. We might even just skip on down to the stage. We've got OJ standing by with Magisk.
Thank you, Moses. And it seems like Groundhog Day. We've been here before, speaking to a member of Astralis before a grand final. It was tight in the first map. In the second map, though, you guys took control.
Yeah, first map was insanely nervous for everyone, I think, in the server. And it was small rounds that made the difference. And that was in our favor today. And that's something we're really happy about, but they played really good, and that's how it is, and we played good as well.
Why the nerves from you in Overpass? You've won so much. You've been at the top of the tree for so long. Why the nerves?
Well, if you don't have nerves, I don't think you're doing the right job. Everyone is supposed to have nerves, otherwise they don't care about the game. And everyone on our team have nerves as well. That's normal, and that's how it is. And you have to use that nerve as something good, and that's what we try to do all the time, and use it as something to make us even better as players, and yeah.
Shows the hunger. Zonic, when he was chatting to Frankie in the break between the maps, he said that you were very emotional. You were all emotional at the end of that first map. Why was that?
This is everything for me. This is my life. This is not a hobby. This is something we do all the time. We travel all the year, and you miss family, you miss your friends and stuff like that. This is all we do, and therefore I also put so much emotions into it because it means a lot for me to win, and that's everything I want to.
Were you surprised by the pick of Overpass?
Yeah, actually we got surprised a little bit by Overpass. We didn't expect them to take it, but that's how it is sometimes. And I think this whole tournament, everyone has been trying to surprise us in the vetoes and to try and catch us off guard, and they did today as well. But yeah.
As soon as you see a team on the back foot, you tend to put your foot on the throat. Is that something that you do as a team?
Yeah, I think it's everyone understanding that no matter how difficult it looks, we can always do a comeback, and we can always manage to win close rounds and make it into our favor. And that's what we did on Overpass. It looked really bad in the beginning. We didn't get so many CT rounds, and we still kept grinding, and we kept winning the important rounds, and it just went into our favor.
Well, tomorrow you're taking on ENCE, which has been an underdog story. They've made it through to a grand final. Are you worried by anything they bring to the table?
I mean, you're not making it into a grand final if you're not a good team. They have been playing some amazing CS, and I think it's going to be a good game tomorrow. We won't take lightly on them because they have already knocked out Liquid and Na'Vi this tournament, so they're definitely a good team, and we have to be playing our best if we want to win tomorrow.
You're saying all the right things. Listen, it's once again amazing to watch you play. It's amazing to see you in another grand final. If I can get you to sign that for me. Put your hands together for Magisk and Astralis. Another grand final. They'll be up for winning that major.